A punk rocker, yes I am. Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Film Club episode, whatever episode it is. I'm your boy Zach. This is Kenny Sparks. Say hi to the peoples.
What up, folk? Niggas in here don't know who I be, but you about to find out right now. See, where I come from, niggas
Oh,
clap.
Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't. First of all, did Alexa just tell you to stop saying that word?
Alexa don't know me like that. You know what I'm saying?
She said it's
Alexa don't
culturally insensitive, like the clips.
Alexa don't know what she don't know what I've been through. Feel me? She don't know
Be
what
careful where you actually wake her up.
Everyone has their own experiences and perspectives. It's important to communicate openly and respectfully to bridge gaps in understanding.
Alexa out here teaching you how to be woke.
Right.
Telling you can't be saying these things. But yeah, let's jump into the topics. Let's talk. We have 4 beautiful topics to talk about. We're going to be talking about the new Ari Aster film, Eddington, and our feelings, and everything is spoilerific going on here. So if you haven't seen the movie, sorry. We didn't actually get to talk about Superman last week, so we'll be talking about Superman, kind of discussing that, but also it versus like Fantastic Four and kind of the implications of the box office and what we think Fantastic Four, how well it will do, and how we think it's gonna, like, our hype for it. And then to end it off, we'll be talking about Kevin Feige and some of the variety interview he did. We talked about a plethora of different things, and I'm gonna talk about how I think he be lying sometimes. To save face.
Things and variety gets a correlation.
What is happening right now?
Woo!
You okay? All right. Let's talk about Eddington. The new Ari Aster film that came out this Friday, starring Joaquin Phoenix and the man that's everywhere. He must be Mr. Fantastic for real in real life, because he's in every movie, everywhere, all the time, all at once. Pedro Pascal. And a plethora of other actors that are very, very talented. This is like a really strong cast.
It's a lot of niggas in this cast. It's a
lot of people. There's some people in here I don't know, but even the people I don't know were really, really good. Talk about Eddington. You give me some thoughts off camera. I want to hear them on the live.
No, so I saw Eddington. Fix it. Fix your life. Get it together. All right.
Your technology is revolting against you.
Disrespect I deal with every day. But no, so Eddington was interesting, yo. Like, so as I was telling you before the drone started, pardon me. I was telling you before the drone started that, like, I'm not the biggest Ari Aster fan. I do like Hereditary a lot. I find Midsommar. A lot of people like that movie. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's not that I don't even dislike Midsommar. I just left the movie saying, "All right, that happened, cool." And I forget what the third one was, because he was
Hereditary.
He's
Hereditary. Oh, Beau's Afraid.
Beau's Afraid, right? So I'm saying he was 1 and 3. I guess he's 1 and 2 with me, but I think he's actually 1 and 3. I'm trying to remember what the other movie is. And that's before seeing
this is his 4th film, so 1 and 3 is correct.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but no, like he's not though. So he's like 1, 2, and a possible, right? And the possible would be Eddington. Eddington is so, like, the first half of the movie is really good. Like, like it does it is literally a time capsule. Like, I never felt more in 2020 than watching Eddington. And it was so interesting because it felt like, this is exactly what it was like to live in 2020.
What exactly threw you into that? Like, what? Because I know exactly what happened, why I felt that way, but what part of the movie you were like, yeah, this feels like 2020?
From the start, from the very start, the cops rolling up on the sheriff and being like, "Yo, put your mask on." Like that
That whole
immediately,
argument.
I was thrown right back into 2020. Right. I was a mask nigga. Like I was like, "Yo, wear your mask."
Me too.
I hate wearing my
Me
mask.
too.
You
I got asthma. I had to be wearing that mask.
I hated wearing it, yo. But at the same, but I did though, right? But like, I feel like what the movie really captured for me was the levels of extremes that people were going to, and it was like it kind of made me feel like I was conflicted, right? I was really conflicted. But one of the things, and the reason why I was conflicted before I go into the next thing is we, not we all, but a lot of people were like, yeah, you need to wear your mask to protect other people, right? Because it's not
Especially
even
the elderly.
especially the
Yeah.
elderly and what have you. And then there's the people who were not wearing masks, and it was a weird like it, and it's weird because like if you are chronically on the internet and you live on the internet, you will
Yeah.
have yourself believe that people really, really hate each other or
Yeah.
are really, really as uh, uh, vindictive isn't the word, as
Yeah.
passionate about the things that they believe as they are on the internet, and that's just not the case, right? Like,
Yeah.
I just like
Also, it depends on where you live, right?
it.
Like I live in New York City. You live in
Yeah,
Philadelphia, right? I said
yeah,
right.
yeah,
We live in more kind of like you believe in what you believe in, keep it to yourself. We ain't gonna argue kind of places. I do think there's other parts of the country that may be a little bit more extreme, like
yeah.
Eddington, wherever the hell this was.
Yeah. New Mexico, which I kept.
New Mexico.
Yo, the whole movie I was thinking about three billboards in like Ebbington, Missouri, whatever. Yeah, that movie
Missouri.
is. I kept wanting to call it that in my head. In my head, I did. But yeah, so it was very much reflective of like those kind of extremes that were happening, and the
Yeah.
movie did something really smart where even through the sheriff, who was who ended up being a dickhead, but even through the sheriff,
Anti-mask.
there was a lot of. Oh, that's not the reason why I call him a
Well,
dickhead.
yeah. No. That's the least
Yeah, that's the least of our
of
worries,
the
right?
worries. Yeah.
Um, but he helped me feel empathetic towards people who weren't wearing masks, and the reason
Yeah.
why because it was like, yo, you don't have to treat them like that. You don't have to push them. You don't have to like shove them like that. But what the movie does brilliantly, and we'll keep talking about it. But what the movie does really brilliantly is it doesn't harp on one side of the argument with politics. It doesn't harp on one side of it with like liberal and liberal and conservative, mask or no mask. It really points out how, oh my god. So I said this in that BS like thing I try to record after watching it, where I was like, I think one of the best things that the movie did was really show some of the weird hypocrisy white people were like putting themselves through during these times,
During that
especially
time.
the Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
era, which we're still in because Black Lives Matter. But like,
When the
yo,
protests were really, really hot.
when that little girl was yelling, "I have no right to say this. I shouldn't be saying this. I have no reason to say this. I'm standing on stolen land." And, yo, I kept rolling my eyes because I'm like,
Yeah.
you you're doing that right side of history thing. You're doing that
Yeah.
thing where people just say what they think other people want to hear because you think
Yeah.
that you're in the right, not because you actually even totally believe it. Like one of the best parts of the movies is recognizing that that little boy was only protesting to get with the little girl and ended
Yeah.
up becoming an extremist himself, not because
On
he
the other
actually,
side.
but because he was just like, you get into this place in your head where you become so entrenched in something that it's hard to like back out and kind of like look at everything that's going on. And the kid went from like, I don't care about none of this, to I care about
Yeah.
all of this for a girl. And when the girl went with somebody else, he was like, I'm still going to be an extremist because this is the
This is where I'm at.
This is the route I'm at right now. So,
and I just want to piggyback off two of your points.
yeah.
So one, the fact that he went to kind of like that far right circle towards the end of the film after being so pro, like, oh, white people, the whiteness needs to be dismantled and all that stuff. And one of the funniest moments in the movie when he's trying to explain it to his parents and sitting there, and it was like this is Ari Aster's best directed film. That's, I gotta say that. Maybe not his best edited film, but it's his best directed film because that scene was perfect. It was framed perfectly. He was sitting there with his parents. It felt like I was sitting in there watching him talk to them. And like, so someone in the group chat pointed out to me that there was a bunch of guns in the background that I didn't see. And like, he's saying all this dismantle whiteness thing, right? And they're listening to him intently. So you could tell like they actually care what their son has to say. And he said, we got to stop whiteness. And the father just says after a pause break, but you're white. Are you? Oh, well, I'm not going to say the word he said. Are you, whatever. That, and I was like, that was like the biggest laugh in the movie.
Intently because they care about what he's saying. Have you ever listened to, and I know you did because you've watched some of the, what are those videos called? The Lululemon Jones? Like, what are those videos called? The lemon videos, the Jubilee.
Okay. Yeah.
The Jubilee videos, and a big part of like the reason that they capture my attention is because someone is saying something so stupid that just like the father, he just like kind of like leans in like, what? Are you dumb? Like what are we talking about here? Like I don't even think it's like
you're white.
Yeah, it's like, yo, that was funny, but the dope part about that is that I understand that kind of like I empathize with it. Like it's like I get it. I get deconstructing whiteness. I understand when people say what people mean when they say that. But I also
but the problem is this kid doesn't actually know what that means. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's reading
he's just repeating. Yeah, he's repeating what the girl that he likes is saying.
Right.
And another point I want to talk about in terms of the brilliance of this film is going back to that scene with the guy trying to get into the store without a mask. And it's showing kind of the older gentleman, yeah. And you talking about like the empathy on both sides, but not really taking a side in the movie, even though it's showing mostly from Joaquin Phoenix's point of view. Yeah. As someone that worked in customer service during that time, as someone that had to, and after that time as well, or just working in customer service in period and seeing how belligerent people are. But during that time, working in a medical office during that time, and and having to tell people, you have to, if you can't come in here, you have to wear a mask. If you come in here, you have to wear a mask. Right. And how they argue with me and they try to fight. Like I had a guy try to fight me before. Big homie had a peg leg. Like he has leg amputated and had a better leg, and he wanted to fight me. And I was like, because over him having to wear a mask and telling people like you gotta pull it up above your nose. And I think it was to a point where it becomes like a dehumanizing situation where you don't see these people as human beings, you see them as annoyances.
Yeah.
And I could see that happening on the other side. And I think that was part of what the movie was talking about, how we were dehumanizing ourselves because of these situations that were happening. He's pushing him out of the way, like, you need to get out of here. You're a virus. Right? Yeah. But on others, so I understand, like, why are you treating this old man like that? Like when he said that. But on the other side of the thing is like, the service worker is like, I got to protect myself and the people in my store.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it does a really good job of making you thinking about both sides of the coin and not telling you to which one you think should be right.
And I think the big part about the interesting part about that time in our history was that those service workers, people working, not hospitals, but who work in convenience
Target,
Target, we weren't hired to be like contagion bodyguards. Like we weren't hired to be police to tell people what to wear and what not to wear. So it is a very awkward situation that even if I believe that you should wear a mask, I'm just not the type of person to be like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So yeah, like it, and I think that the movie really captured that hysteria, if you want to call it that,
Yeah,
during paranoia. Yeah, and then just like, but I think one of the things I was thinking about on that drive home when I was rambling to the camera, which I'll probably never release, was like I was like, yeah, Ari Aster, like he never really took a side, but there was a point where I'm like, I think he did take a side, or I think several times he was like, I feel like he did take a side. Like, so you have the three cops, you have the sheriff, you have the black cop, and you have the white cop, the other white, right? I feel like everything he did with the white cop, the other deputy, was taking a side, because it was very clear. Like, there was no, like, for me at least, there was no empathetic redeeming quality to that character. The longer it went, the more he became more of an antagonist, and not just antagonist in terms of he just wanted to go against what the main character wanted. I mean, like an antagonist towards like
to justice black guy,
thin blue line, all this other stuff. When they kept asking the black cop, like, well, so what are they doing? You know, it was like he kept asking the black cop, like, what are they doing? Why are they acting like that? It was like, nigga, I'm one person. Like,
I don't. And it happened again in the movie with the girl who's protesting when she's like, "You should be with us." It's kind of like, why you act like I'm the representative,
right,
of everybody, right? Like, this is a thing that happened far away from where they are. Like, they're in New Mexico. Like, the thing that happened to George Floyd it's not even, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even in their vicinity. So it's like he's like, someone died. Like, when a black person dies, it's not like we have to like take up arms every time. It's not like when a white person dies, white people do it. So it's kind of like, whoa, maybe I didn't even get the processed information yet. Depends on the situation.
Very different.
I'm just saying, not every black person I know takes up arms when travesties happens to black people. Some people go, he died. That's not my business. I'm gonna just make sure I'm good. Right. Like, obviously, for me, when that happened, I was like in an uproar, and I'm pretty sure you were too. But it's different for everybody.
For sure. I know that one of the more interesting things about the movie itself was how much they pointed that fact out. That we are in New Mexico. Like, I understood what Joaquin Phoenix's character was saying when he was in the middle of that protest. He's like, we didn't do anything to y'all.
Like, you guys are protesting in the wrong place.
Right. It's like,
there's no police brutality going. We don't have crime.
There's like no justice, no peace. It's like nothing's happening here. Like, I understand what you're saying.
And you're in the wrong place.
He even empathized, like, yo, like, what happened down there was a tragedy. It was terrible. Yeah. They were wrong. I think he even went as far as to say, like, those cops were wrong, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. They didn't, even though he's a dickhead, they didn't make him a racist or anything like that. He was like, no, that's when more information, because at first, when they first heard the information, it was like, oh, what did he do? Kind of like thing. But as more information came out, and I think probably the video and stuff like that, I think he was kind of like, well, no, they fucked up.
Yeah.
But also, that has nothing to do with me. I'm a good cop.
Exactly. And I thought that was really interesting, because a lot of it was like a lot of those protests. So what we have is protests by a bunch of white kids who are not impacted by this whatsoever and want to be on the right side of history. We also have a cop who's like, I understand that's wrong. You guys are tearing up stores down here for something that has nothing to do with you. And is nowhere near here. And we have not done any brutality. Also, one of the most important parts of this movie, I wouldn't even say it's like the most important part, a very important look into how society is and was back in 2020 was when they showed the police violence video of the sheriff roughing up the homeless gentleman. I don't know how you want to say
Context.
it. The context was completely off. There was no context. And what I see a lot of times on the internet.
Because the funny thing about that is that he was getting his ass beat in that video.
Yeah, he was getting his ass kicked. The cop was. So it had nothing.
But they used it. They used it like he was roughing up the dude. The dude was roughing him up.
Right. And the funny thing is, throughout the entirety of the movie, you see the homeless gentleman effing shit up. Like it's just like just messing things up. Right. I'm not even like disclaimer. I'm not blaming the homeless guy, blah, 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 blah. He was clearly dealing with some mental issues. But it's I think that's another question, too. What do you do with someone who clearly is not in their right mind, but is you don't do what the sheriff did. That's
no. Because to tie into that, you talked about how they didn't do police brutality. He ends up doing the worst kind of police brutality, which this the more I'm talking about this film, the more I'm like, I already liked it a lot, but the more I like it because like part of police brutality is certain cops who maybe are going through things at home or getting shit on by their boss, or they feel powerless in a situation that has nothing to do with civilians and they take it out on civilians.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up doing that in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. Another thing I want to piggyback off the homeless dude, right? That's also a big thing that happened. And it happened here in New York, right? We have these homeless shelters here. But and I realized this was happening because the radios, you know how they kept playing the radio throughout the there was a part of the radio that said the homeless shelters are run over by convicts, because what they were doing was, because COVID was passing so much around in jails, they were taking people out of jails and putting them in homeless centers and kicking the homeless people out. So that's why this homeless man was out and about roaming everywhere, because he didn't have nowhere to go. They kicked him out to hold the convicts. But what ended up happening is that those convicts would leave the jail with COVID, give it to the homeless people, and the homeless people would just roam and give it to people.
Yeah.
And that was part of what was going on in this movie. I thought was interesting. He was coughing up a storm in front of everybody's face.
Yep, sure was. And the sheriff called COVID. Like, it was pretty evident that he had got it, which was also a very funny layer to it. But but like what I was saying about the homeless gentleman was like, what do you do in a situation, homeless or not? Hold on.
Dog alert.
Oh wait, is this? Can you still hear me? Oh, it's
I can still hear you.
I muted my the mic I have here. Oh snap!
Mm-hmm.
See, everything's going wrong. And that's
you're frozen now.
To the stream now.
You're back. Gotcha.
Am I back? Am I back like a crack? But yeah, what I was trying to say.
I think you muted yourself.
What do you do in a situation where you have a homeless gentleman who is being disrupted, or not even a homeless person, a person who has some mental health issues? You don't know what to do with it. They're causing a disruption, not because they intend to do so, but because they're dealing with some things, and it becomes so disruptive that it almost becomes dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not for us to figure out. That's for the cops to figure out. You don't do what he did, like I said. But yeah, I can see like this movie raises so many different questions and thoughts and ideas, and that's
morally,
why this second half didn't work for me.
Okay.
The reason why the second half of this movie doesn't work for me is because it does the thing that Ari Aster does that I absolutely hate, which is when I saw Bo's, this was the entirety of Bo's Afraid, right? The story, he would start a story. He starts the first story with Joaquin Phoenix, right? He's living in that crappy apartment. He's going through like all kinds of stuff. It's leaking. All kinds of strange things are happening
super anxiety.
outside, inside. He's dealing with all this stuff, right? And I'm following this story. I'm following the character. I'm with the character, right? And then all of a sudden, the movie switches to something else. Now he's in the woods dealing with this play. These people who are like in this kind of village situation, and I'm like, okay, I'm following this story. I understand what's happening, and then it switches, and now he's in this mansion with like a piano, and he's getting like divorce papers and all this stuff. Like, and then it switches, and now he's in some kind of Temple of Doom, weird like thing, and the movie ends. Right? I bring it up to say this. So I was talking to a friend about this, and what I was telling him was, I went to an illusion museum maybe like 2 months ago. Right? There's a room in the illusion museum where not even a room, it's a tunnel actually with a bridge that you walk across. Right? When you walk across this bridge, it's a kaleidoscope. Is the tunnel, right? So when you're walking through, you can see the other end, right? But because you're walking through this tunnel, you're completely disoriented and you cannot get your footing. You're literally walking straight. It's straight. The bridge has never moved. Nothing has moved except for the kaleidoscope kind of thing that's spinning around you, and your brain literally can't handle it. So you end up leaning against the railing, trying to pull yourself across this bridge when really you could just walk straight, but you cannot.
The illusion.
Can't do it, right?
Yeah.
That's what Ari Aster movies feel like to me. I feel like I can never get my footing. So in the second half of this movie, after the murder's committed, right, the first one, and then after Pedro Pascal and his son kind of exit the movie, right? It becomes, that's what the movie becomes. Oh, how's he going to get out of that? How's he going to escape that? But then the movie turns into something else, right? It turns into like some kind of like it turns into the framing of the black cop, which to me was weird, just because it doesn't feel like the sheriff would do that. And it was kind of like, this is a leap for the sheriff, right? And then it turns into a murder mystery where the Native American cop is doing this thing. And then somehow, some way, and it's all there. It's all on screen. It's not even like a somehow, some way. I know what happened. I saw what happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it's a lot of show, not tell, which I like.
The movie switches tones and directions. It feels like 5 times within the final like hour to 40 minutes, right? And because it does that so much, I was like, yo, I can't catch my footing. Wait a minute. We're in a shootout for 15, 20 minutes where he's running through the streets and being chased by whoever who want to kill him for whatever reason. Like it just like shit just kept happening. And it felt like, I'm sure if I watch it, and I did watch it, I'm sure because I watched it, I understand how the dominoes like fell. But at the same time, I was like, okay, so we're doing the thing where he is trying to get away with his murder. All right, cool. Then you add 5 more things onto that. And I'm like, no, just tell that story. Tell that story. He kept wanting to tell a different story all the way to the point where we get to the kidnapping of the black cop. And that story and how they end up in that field.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what about that story? Right? And I was like, what about that situation? Like how? Okay. And then it kind of like wraps itself up in the end. But even the way that it wraps itself up is like, he came out with the machine. I'm like, what is
that was crazy?
What is
when he came out with the machine gun? I was like, what? Where? But then I was like, oh yeah, he's in a gun store. That makes sense.
And I'm sure, and it makes sense that he's in a gun store. But I don't know, man. I really feel like if I'm in the gun store, I'm not coming out with that gun, especially against several different assailants. Like I'm not in a Rambo movie. Like this is really weird. You know what I mean? Like it just, and then the Native American cop gets it, which was horrible. And then
Yeah,
like
that was
all
horrible.
this stuff happened. The one part I did like was when the Native American cop connected the E's together. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he got him, and he
I
got him.
really like everything they did with that guy. Like
Yeah,
his
same.
attitude, the way he was investigating, when he was taking pictures of the tires, he was like, he just like something's up with them.
With that guy. Yeah,
because he keeps trying to push me away from the crime scene, and it's just like you're hiding something.
And then, but
I really
that's
like
the
what they
thing.
do with that.
We get to that part where he follows whatever Joaquin Phoenix's character's name was. I can't remember. He follows him to.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Like I think it was. He follows him to his house.
He went to his house to see if he could get the gun.
And it was just like, you know, it just all of it felt like at a point we just doing shit. I know that's not Ari Aster's intention, but it felt like everything that was on the whiteboard when he wrote when he was thinking about the movie, he just put it in the movie. And I'm just kind of like, bro, we gotta have some semblance of footing for me to like, we're doing this, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, solve the mystery, the E's connected, and now we're doing something else. I'm like, all right, come on. Like, we're doing a lot.
Gotcha. Before I get into my rebuttals.
Last shootout?
Yeah.
Like, while it was happening, I'm like, I want to enjoy this, but what the fuck is going on? Like,
so before I get to how I felt about the second half, let me see what the people in the chat said. Sully Stream said, I need F4 to be amazing. Me too. I don't know amazing. I just want it to be great.
Yeah.
I do need to see editing though, even if Ari Aster is losing me a bit lately. That's fair. I hear people saying that.
Yeah.
Hereditary is goated. A lot of people love that film.
Yeah, fantastic movie.
Anthony Perez says, I totally agree. Eddington poses so many questions, but the story just falls apart in the back half. It has so many profound things to say, but sometimes it feels like it's high on its own supply.
I hear that.
Maverick 77 Defender, welcome to the live stream. Says hi. Superman sucks. Damn. Reviews for FF look great. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is an underrated movie. I always hear that.
1000% agree with that.
Yeah, I saw the Rotten Tomatoes for the original the original Fantastic Four movies. I'm like, I saw that first one. It's not that bad.
It's not a bad movie by any stretch. It's just not. I think it's just a change in how we viewed superhero movies after the MCU. Right? There was before the MCU where you could just do a bunch of things that were not connected to anything else, and they were kind of just like, it's cool. Now, I'm not even saying that all of them were good. I'm just saying like there's a certain expectation that this Fantastic Four movie is just a Fantastic Four movie. Now, we will never forgive them for Cloud Galactus because that made zero sense. But at the same time, like, put some kind of effort in. At least shape the cloud like his head or something. Like, just add like a ball twisting around the earth. It's like, all right.
Useless skills.
Yeah, what's up, Useless?
Dark Room review says, I saw Eddington earlier.
Whoop.
Dark Room says, I have so much respect for director Ari Aster having the balls to direct a film, the guts to direct a film like Eddington. Yeah, because it's a lot. So how I feel about the film, right? I think that for me, I enjoy the first half. I enjoy the second half of the film. My biggest issue is probably the last 10 to 15 minutes of the film. Everything after he gets stabbed in the head, I
forgot about that somehow.
Like after that, because I felt like even though it wasn't bad, I was still entertained after the stuff that was happening there. What Peter Griffin says, the movie insists upon itself. I felt like, yeah, we got the point, but you keep going, and now you're trying to wrap up stuff that I don't need you to wrap up. Like I didn't need to see the black guy learn how to shoot his gun. I didn't need to see that the wife was pregnant. I didn't need to see a lot of that stuff, right?
They spent so much time with the wheelchair stuff. I was kind of like,
Yeah, like a lot of that wheelchair stuff. I was just
Yeah.
like, all right, like this is kind of diverting from what the point of the movie is. So the reason why I don't have an issue with all the different things that's going on in the film is because the film was never directly about like character arcs or any one person's particular storyline. From my perspective, I think it was literally just supposed to be a time capsule of all the crazy bug shit crap that was going on during that time and how it affected the community. So it was like even though all these different things were happening in different places, he was putting them all in this small town of Eddington. Whether it was COVID paranoia, people being anti-mask, people starting to run campaigns on false information, which now we see is a big thing that's happening coming out of COVID and happens so much now. Even the person running the country right now does that all the time. And the cults that were building up because of this.
This nigga said there is no Epstein list.
Man, big homie said, yeah, he's Martin Luther King files. That is not what we want to talk about, sir.
I think we know as much as we need to know about.
That's how bad I got. Oh, Mike. That's not what we want to talk about, sir. Put the damn. We know you on the list. Just put it out. But
you on the files. Come on.
We know for sure you're on that damn list. Talking about it's fictional. Nobody even cares about Epstein. What are you talking about? Let me get back into.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's so crazy to me. But yeah, like all the paranoia and all the things that who was going on at that time, he was encapsulating and having the backdrop of like a neo-noir Western thriller, and how this one guy went from a decent sheriff. I don't want to say he was great because the conversation he had with Pedro Pascal's character seemed like he wasn't great in the beginning, but a decent sheriff that was going through a lot. Like, let's not escape that, and that's where the empathy. Even though he's a jerk, the empathy part comes from. He has a living mother-in-law who's absolutely insane, the worst. He has a wife that is emotionally not the most stablest person, and like any stress just sets her off. And we saw what happened. She ends up leaving with a cult leader. And then like he's trying to live up to his dad. And he's trying not to get punked out by the mayor who may have slept with his wife. Like, it's a lot going on at the same time. So I get like the stress, and then like everything that was happening that was leading to him becoming this terrible person. Yeah. I really liked the fact that they brought up the Antifa stuff. Is it Antifa or Antica? It's Antifa. I like that they brought that up because that's something that was like a big discussion point. I remember during Black Lives Matter, because they were saying Antifa was an extension of that when it wasn't. It was a lot of like non-black people pretending to be black people stirring up trouble. And it was interesting, that whole shootout was about basically like, because he had the phone with all their information on it, and that's why they wanted to get him. And it just showed like how a lot of that stuff, like the crosses that was burning in people's yards and all these signs and things like that. People was trying to think like this is about KKK coming back, and the KKK is probably like, nah, we chilling. It's COVID. These hoods ain't gonna protect us. So like, I like that they did that, because that was something that was going on not just in the United States. That was happening across the world, right? Like one of my favorite movies that came on Netflix.
In my neighborhood, this whole like Antifa thing, because we had a Rite Aid that's over here that got ransacked during some of the stuff, right? And it was a lot of white people coming from the suburbs acting like black people. When I say acting like black people, they're trying to portray black people in whatever twisted idea they think black people are. And they destroyed that Rite Aid. It was 24 hours. It went from 24 hours to only being open until 9 to now it's closing. So it's like, and it's right around the corner in a neighborhood with a ton of elderly people and sick people who needed that pharmacy, including myself, because that's where I was getting my medicine from. And now it's shutting down. And now a bunch of Rite Aids across this area shutting down. But that one in particular was really impacted by those riots from people who are not even from this neighborhood, not even from the city coming through. As a matter of fact, this is going to sound trivial in comparison, but you know how people say like Eagles fans are the worst, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those people aren't even from the city, because I'm not sure how many Philadelphians are affording $400, $500, $600, $700+ tickets every week. Those people are the people from the suburbs who come here and act a fool.
Yeah.
For the most
and then
part,
destroy the town, and then that's a very good comparison, right? Like, because what they're doing is not as evil as what we're talking
that's
about.
What I'm saying. Like,
but
it sounds trivial, but
it makes sense, because like it's people coming from, and I could talk about that. Like, the neighborhood I live in is pretty quiet for the most part a lot of times, but anytime there is any violence or anything that happens, is usually people that don't live in the neighborhood. It's people coming from their block or their neighborhoods coming here to start stuff, and then they leave.
Yep.
So, and then we have to deal with it. The people who are hurt or killed or lose their items and things like that. So it happens a lot, but this was like on a grander scale that was just sowing tension between people based on ethnicity and race. And a lot of that was happening where, you know, they bring up George Floyd. Then we have this cop questioning the black cop, and him not wondering like which side is he on? Is he on our side? Is he on their side? And now it's become a thing where it's a side thing, right?
But whose side was he talking about? Are you on the black side or are you on the cop side? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yes, like, that's what he exactly was talking about. But that's what a lot of cops felt it was.
Yeah, I know, but it's like your profession puts you in direct opposition towards you're either black or you're a cop.
Yeah.
What? So
look, I work as a cop. I am a black person.
Like that's how a lot of cops think. And the funny thing is, if you look at it on the other side, the girl he was messing with, which I'm pretty sure they hinted heavily that was some statutory, but
it wasn't hinted heavily. It was heavy-handed.
She's like, "Are you on their side?
Yeah,
or are you on that?" Like, so he was getting it from both sides, Paul. So it just, it was really interesting. I think that he did a lot of good writing in this. It just became like
it was just too much for you.
Yeah.
I get that. Like I said, this if he would have landed the plane, if the movie was a little shorter, because it's 2 hours and 28 minutes, it did not need to be that long.
No,
if the movie was a strong 2 hour 15 maybe, this would have been a 5-star movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
If he could have just really landed that plane. But because he didn't, it was more of a 4-star film for me, where like it's still one of my favorite films of the year. There's a film that I want to rewatch because there's a lot of stuff I feel like I'm going to catch on the second watch, because I didn't catch the whole like radio station thing about like them talking about the homeless people getting kicked out of the shelter.
Yeah, I didn't
catch on the first watch. I heard about it after, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense why this homeless man is wandering around.
Right.
You know, and so there's probably other stuff throughout the movie and the movie's just funny. I know we were talking about all these serious stuff. The movie
funny.
Like him having those signs where it's like he works for him and he works for Facebook. Do you want to become Facebook New Mexico? I was dying laughing. The Katy Perry thing.
He spelled your wrong on the truck.
Somebody in the group chat said that he spelled things wrong all the time through text on the thing on the board. He was just spelling wrong all the time. I didn't even notice that either. But the part where he had to turn down the music and then that back and forth. And then,
I thought he was going to kill him there.
Me too. The death of Pascal. That was. Did you like gasp? Because I gasped.
I was like, you know how you feel it coming, but it's like, I don't know if that's going to happen. And then it happens. I was like, yo, oh my God. But that's not even the one that shocked me. The one that shocked me was the son.
Yes.
I did not see that coming.
I did not. I thought, he's going to survive.
I would have thought that Joaquin's like character would have been like, I'm not killing a child. That's crazy. But apparently not.
He's so off the deep end.
Yeah,
and also I just thought about he doesn't have kids.
That child antagonized him the entire time. Even though, but first of all, it's a child. So chill.
It's a child.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like that was my other negative. Pedro Pascal was not in this movie enough. Like he just like they set up this conflict between the two, and then Pedro Pascal's character just disappears for long swaps of the movie.
Yeah,
where it's like I'm going up against him. I'm going up against him. It's like, but we're not seeing you go up against him. It's like he just disappears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Joaquin Phoenix's character was the main character of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, positive though. Joaquin did a really good job with that accent.
Yes.
He sounded a lot like Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, and kind of looked like him too.
Yeah. So he did a really good job with that. He's a phenomenal, top tier actor.
He just has to have a great director because he'll go too far with his choices. If he does that. Yeah, like Napoleon.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Awful movie.
But I
would say I would give this like I haven't even rated it, but I would say I would give this like a 3.5 stars right now. It is a really good movie, but that, like I said, that second half kind of like, woo!
Where are we going? It's like a roller coaster that won't stop.
Yeah.
And then when you stop, you don't even realize what the hell did I even go through just now? How many loops? So overall thoughts for me, like, I really love the film. It was just a really fun time. I was like, okay, this is gonna be super serious, but I should have known. Ari Aster knows how to inject fun in his films, even in something as weird as Midsummer. Still, to me, had a little bit of a fun factor into it. So I really enjoyed it. For me, he's 4 for 4. I love just I just love the way he does stuff. Even like the films that he produces, like Dream Scenario. I love Dream Scenario.
Dream Scenario is phenomenal, and unfortunately, criminally underrated. You want to talk about underrated?
Underrated. That's one of the most underrated movies ever. No one talks about Nicolas Cage's performance in that. He was fantastic.
You know how bad no one talks about that movie? I was in the middle of hundreds of views on this video, hundreds of views on this video, hundreds of views on this video. Right there in the middle was Dream Scenario with like 65 views. Then hundreds. It was so, like nobody watched that review. It was crazy.
No.
And I was proud of that review. I was proud.
I had a whole skit and everything in my review. I was really proud of mine too, and nobody watched it.
That's back when I was doing like the chapters and the animations and all that stuff. Yeah, man.
Oh man. Good times. So that'll be a wrap up of editing. I'm gonna go through some of these comments real quick, and then we're gonna get into talking about Superman and give our quick thoughts about Superman, because we didn't get to talk to you guys about it because we were on a different live stream last week.
Yeah, that's right. We were on a live stream.
Justice for Tim Story. What happened to Tim Story? Oh, Tim Story, director of Silver Surfer Rise of the Surfer. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they were like
a great name for a director.
It is. It's an amazing name for a story. Tim Story's new story.
As perfect as Mark Webb directing the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, I always thought that was fake. I was like, your name can't be Mark Webb and you're directing Spider-Man. It's no way. The cloud wasn't Galactus, it's just exhaust fumes from his spaceship. You see the silhouette. That's cool, but we got to see Galactus, my guy.
That's actually worse.
Yeah, that's just a bad idea. If you don't have the VFX budget to do it, just do not do Galactus.
Right.
The Fantastic Four has an amazing rogues gallery that's very underrated. Just use someone else.
Hell, Reed is his own rogues gallery.
Facts. I felt the same with The Substance as well. Like, we got the movie was going for, but the whole big blood explosion at the end was over the top. I still enjoyed the movie overall. I actually don't agree with that. I think that was a cherry on top for the movie. That whole section of her falling apart.
I'm with you. I do understand how somebody would feel that way.
Yeah, of course.
For me, I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" But it was enjoyable. I was like,
"Yeah,
this is crazy."
Yeah, I'm gonna stop looking at the horror. Yeah. One thing I want to tell about you guys, the viewers, is with me, I like maximalist entertainment. Like, if you are putting every single thing on the screen, I'm going to at least appreciate what you did. I might not like the film, end up liking the film overall, but I'm going to appreciate that you tried. Because I watched so many movies that are so subdued, and I'm like, okay, like, you're going through the same character arcs, you're going through the same things, you're not trying anything, but when you go for it, that's my shit. And when you do it well, like The Substance did,
yeah.
A++.
I think I do have I generally do have problems with movies that kind of like some Ari Aster movies that kind of
Yeah.
like feel like they're going in a certain direction. It's not even that they change direction one time. If you change directions 3 or 4 times, and it's like, hey, man, it's like if Cody was on his way to finishing the story, and then he ended up in a WrestleMania match with like Otis or something like that. It was like, yo, man,
Yeah.
what are we? You were just doing this, and then he got
Get
back on
back.
track, and then
Yeah.
like Shinsuke popped up. It was like, which he did, but like I'm talking about like in the main event kind of situation.
Yeah.
It was like we gotta get to the end. You know what I mean?
Get to where you promised us.
Finish the story. Yeah. So
Finish
yeah.
the story. Silhouette Galactus resembling his iconic helmeted figure is briefly visible in the cosmic clouds near Saturn. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's just that's not what we wanted.
Yeah.
And it also didn't look good. Like it's not what we wanted, and it didn't look good.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Predator Badlands? I'm excited.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yes.
I watched.
This was better than the first one.
Bro, I could not be more excited. Once they revealed that the girl was actually a robot, it was I was this is great.
From Alien.
Yeah. Because now
like
I don't have to necessarily worry about is a girl gonna make it, she's gonna be tough enough to compete with the Predator, and not even compete, like be partners with the Predator. No, it's a robot. So you can just do literally whatever. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's people might have pointed out that it might be twin robots.
Oh,
because
really?
they said that the scars that the robot has in the beginning of the trailer is different from the scars that the robot has in when she's talking to the Predator. So it might be like a good twin, bad twin thing.
That could be fun.
I'm down. And then they had the thing from Alien 2 at the end of the trailer, the machine that Ripley uses.
I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, they're really tying this together.
Yeah,
and they said that there's an alien from a Steven Spielberg movie in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What alien movie other than E.T. did he do? Was it
that was the only one I know. There's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which a movie I've never seen it. So I have no idea if there's an actual.
They're saying the alien from that movie is in this movie. So
that's cool.
They're tying a bunch of different alien franchises into Predator, and that'll be so dope.
All I need is Predator versus like Judge Dredd versus RoboCop, which is a comic book that actually exists.
To piggy off that, I know that we're getting off topic, but I like having these natural conversations. How do you said Judge Dredd? I haven't seen the Judge Dredd movie. A lot of people talk about it. I got to see it because I heard it's great. How do you feel about Taika Waititi writing, directing a Judge Dredd movie?
So I think I said it like I don't know if I actually said it to you. I think I said it to some other friends. I like Taika Waititi.
Mm-hmm.
I like Judge Dredd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like them together.
I agree. Well, I can't fully agree because I don't know anything about Judge Dredd.
So we can I love both of those movies. The one from the 90s with Sylvester Stallone, which is such a fun 90s action movie, and then the one from what was that 2012 with Carl Urban.
Yeah,
that was such a damn good movie, and it's never getting a sequel, and I hate that that's the truth. But also at the same time, some things are just cool being standalones. But
was it complete? At least
it's a complete story.
Okay, so you just wanted a sequel because it was good, but it's a complete story. Yeah,
it's a complete story front to back. It is one case and it's done.
Nice,
which is good because you don't get that cliffhanger kind of like, you know what I mean. So but that my movie is awesome. But they're so tonally different. They're two totally different. Well, think about it like this: watch a movie from the 90s and then watch one from 2012.
Yeah,
they're very different movies.
Yeah, very different styles.
But then it's actually really funny. Like the one from 2012 is way more comic book accurate because in the comics, Judge Dredd never takes his helmet off. and the first thing Sylvester Stallone does in the 90s movie is take his helmet off, like within the first 5 minutes of the movie. So, not the first 5 minutes, but the first scene of the movie, he takes his helmet off. I'm Sylvester Stallone. Y'all paid for me to be in this movie. Y'all need to see my face.
That's like what they did with Halo, and they had Master Chief take off his clothes, and not supposed to do that.
I heard about that. I was like, that's crazy.
You know what's crazy? I didn't play Halo, so I liked the show. Yeah. But I understand why people who played Halo didn't like the show, because it's like you're doing the exact opposite. If the Mandalorian could do it and cover up Pedro Pascal's face, why can't you do it, Master Chief?
Right.
Like I don't get that at all.
Really
and that first season was their highest rated show ever. And it's like, if you would have just did it properly, you would have had a big hit for Paramount Plus. But yeah.
Really
he said Predator versus
the Pedro Sounds next week.
Yeah, we definitely should. Predator Killer of Killers was meh. Do not agree at all.
I don't agree with that at all. That movie was awesome.
Was fire.
I was in there. Awesome. What was his name? The pilot's name?
I don't remember.
Terrence or something. Torres. I was like, Torres, let's go. Like, I was in there cheering for Torres. Torres was killing it. But the second one, with the samurai and the ninja,
that shit was fire.
That's the one.
And I really liked all three stories. I love the first one too. I love the whole like the revenge plot and the whole dynamic of I have this monster in me and the only way to kill it is to do this, and then a literal monster shows up. And then her son, before she dies, is the monster dead? And it's like, is he talking about the one in you? Or I really liked how they did all that. And she was just a badass character.
She was awesome. She was really awesome. Also love the fact that all three of the Predators that they fought were very distinctly different.
Different technology, different fighting styles, different sizes. I really like that too. Let's talk a little bit about Superman. We didn't get to talk about this on camera. So Superman has been out for a week and a half. Almost 2 weeks. It is doing moderately well at the box office, a little bit under expectations, but not enough where it's an emergency. I think it's doing what this movie needed to reestablish DC in public eye, and I think it's done it for the most part within the United States. Where I think they still going to have work to do is internationally. The reason why the box office is not maybe as high as people thought it was going to be is because it's not doing as good internationally, which shocked me. I thought this movie was going to do amazing, but then I started having conversations with people who are online who live in other countries, and it opened my eyes up to why maybe this is not connecting to, or why it's not connecting to international audience that's seen it, so they go see it multiple times, or why they just won't go watch it at all. And I realized this is a very American-focused story. And it's an American-focused story in a way where it's like an American diddling. Oh, diddling is a crazy word to say. American story, whereas there's an American messing with another country and messing with their infrastructure. And when you come from another country, almost every single country other than England has had America deal and mess with something going on in their country. Whether they replace their leaders, they smuggle drugs and guns there, they're doing stuff to other countries and destabilizing them. So to watch a movie about America doing that, and then the superhero kind of like, oh, should I go help or not? I can see why from a international audience where like, I don't watch this shit.
I find that to be really interesting because, and that's not to say that they're wrong. I'm not saying that anybody who feels that way is wrong whatsoever. But what I find interesting is, and this is just for me, I'm just speaking from my experience. I didn't know anything about this movie before going in. Or I mean, I knew, like, who was in it and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But in terms of like, specific plot points, I wasn't totally aware that like he was doing that in other places. I mean, like going into whatever those fictional places were called. And like overthrowing the government, which he didn't really do. But I understand like the sentiment that people have. I think the only thing that's interesting to me is that when people draw these conclusions about why someone did or did not go see a movie, is did they actually know all that before they decided not to see it? Because I don't think a lot of people knew specifically what was going to happen in the movie. I understand people didn't go out the second week because they found out about that or watched a spoiler review, but I'm not entirely sure the entire country of people are watching spoiler reviews.
Well, not even that. The plot synopsis says he goes abroad in a conflict.
Superman.
Well, not what movie does he really go? Like the Christopher Reeve movies, he doesn't really go abroad. He goes to like the Fortress of Solitude, right? Huh?
Yeah, he does.
What country did he go to?
In China with his vision.
That's true. But like that was the thing of to stop a supervillain. He fixed it and then left. That's kind of different than dealing with the government.
I get what you're saying. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there was conversation about it, but because I remember way back, like a couple years ago, people broke that this was going to be about a Middle Eastern conflict. And I remember at the time, James Gunn tried to say, no, it's not. And I was just like, what? And I was like, okay. And then I watched the movie and I'm like, why are you lying? Like, if it is, it is. It's cool. I get it. You wrote the movie before the whole Gaza thing was happening. And that is where you wanted to go because that's where you went with Suicide Squad, right? Didn't he do like an international thing in the Suicide Squad as well?
Yeah. They were definitely in another country. I never thought that the focus of Suicide Squad was what was happening in that other country. I think that was very much an afterthought. It was like that one scene, which wasn't a great scene. It was very distasteful, but yeah. I never saw that as the purpose of the movie or like some kind of underlying thing with the movie. The movie was about a gigantic starfish.
Yeah. I think that's what the issue people have is like you're using us as backdrops.
Yeah, I get that.
I think that's the main issue. Like I get that too because I watched Suicide Squad. I never really that scene bothered me, but outside of that, nothing really else bothered me. I was just like, okay, they're in another country. We see this happens in comics and stuff like that. But then also I can understand why American comics may not sell internationally like that when they treat things like that. So from an international perspective, I get it. And also some people are talking, and I'm not saying that there's people saying this. I'm talking to people on Threads and other places on YouTube where they're talking about this is their experience watching it. So this is not everybody. I'm just saying this might be an inkling why it's not working for international audiences. Also, I've seen some people say that it look too goofy. With the trailers and the dog and stuff like that, which I thought was surprising because I'm like, it's crypto. But then I was like, okay, I'm a comic book guy. Of course, I'm down with crypto.
I think it's more than that. I think you're going to hate me for this. I think it's more than that. I think that there is a real sense of. Actually, no, you won't hate me for this because I'm not blaming it all on Zack Snyder. I think there's a real thing about this particular movie, which is why I said it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, which is why I said it's more comic booky than most any other comic book movie. It's because it really, and James Gunn has done this a lot, it really leans in to the depth of comic book nonsense that goes on in comic books and in cartoons and in all this stuff. I think, and this is no shot
dimensions and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a lot of our comic book movies are very tame in comparison to actual comic books.
I've been saying that for a long time that a lot of comic book movies are a little too tame.
You think Iron Man is just going up against other armored villains? No. This is fighting dragons. And the Mandarin, who has 10 rings that aren't rings that go around your arms. They're rings in the fingers, and each one of them has a special ability.
Yeah.
That's what the 10 rings actually are in the comics. So Shang-Chi's 10 rings are completely different from what we see in the comics. And I'm not even saying that that's bad. Like, I love that movie. That movie's awesome.
That movie's awesome.
When we talk about things getting really comic booky, this is why Batman has never fought Man-Bat or
Clayface
or
Killer
Killer
Croc.
Croc. Like, this is why he's never really dealt with anything. As a matter of fact, the funny thing is, people asking for the Court of Owls don't know that these people are undead zombies who are just so happen to be ninjas. Like,
and that's things that we just accept that happens in comics because we know it's a heightened universe, and I think that's where James Gunn is going with his universe. He's showing that we're going to go real comic booky, but we're going to have heart in it, so you can have something to hold on while all this craziness is happening. It's not going to work for everybody. I've talked to some people because I've been talking to my friends who, and my sister and my brother and all these other people and other people that watched it. And like I remember I had a customer who watched it and came to talk to me about it, and just trying to see where their gauge is at. And I'm just getting a variety of things. Some people like this, it was too much. Some people was like, this was amazing, I cried 5 times. And some people were like, this is so boring, I didn't connect to anything. I think a big thing for the people who say it's boring is like the side characters just kind of come out of nowhere. They don't explain who these people are, which I can understand because Guy Gardner is not even the 5th most popular Green Lantern, he's like, what is like Hal, John Stewart, Kyle Gardner is how you say his name? Kyle Rayner. He's probably more popular than Guy Gardner.
I don't know if he is. I don't know if a lot of people like Kyle. I don't
Kyle.
Mind. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people like Kyle Rayner. I will say Guy Gardner is more popular than Baz and
yes, Jessica.
Sure.
Yeah, but they're new.
Jessica Cruz got on my nerves for a minute.
She was going through a lot.
Yeah, she was, but it was kind of like her comic with Baz. I think it was called Green Lanterns. It came out with what was that?
I remember that.
The Rebirth run.
Yeah.
They spent and it wasn't just Jessica, it was Baz too. They spent so many issues of that comic book bickering at each other. And it just pissed me off. And I kept buying it because I kept waiting for some cool shit to happen, and eventually it did.
Yeah.
But
it was just too much.
Shipping out double. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry to nerd out, y'all.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they do her animated show. My Adventures with Green Lantern. It's gonna be in the My Adventures with Superman universe. So it'd be interesting to see if she pops up in that show and then she gets her show. The Green Lanterns is interesting. I do think they're gonna change some of their personality. I think. Well, I don't even know if that because Guy Gardner that's Guy Gardner, right? Like,
yeah,
he's a little nicer than the Guy Gardner in comics.
He's a tool, but a likable tool.
Yeah, Guy he's not likable at all.
Don't want him around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said it in my review. I was like, I never like seeing Guy Gardner. Like, I know he's a thing, but when he shows up, I'm like, oh God, Batman, where are you? Punch him in the face again. But like, this was the most I liked him. Yeah, or say something stupid or sexist or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, bro. Like, there's so many other Green Lanterns. Where's Far Sector at? Like, I don't want to see you right now. You know what? Give me Sinestro. Like, get out of my face.
I would rather Sinestro than Guy Gardner. It's crazy. But it's also accurate.
It's so accurate. But yeah, the Superman movie is a movie that I like. I enjoy a lot. I can't wait to watch it again. My only issues and what we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four real quick that I have with it is just the emotional beats not breathing, even though they're just not breathing. And I'm worried because I'm hearing reviews saying that the Fantastic Four is one of the shortest MCU movies. And also, it moves really fast. And I'm like, that sounds like the issue I had with Superman, where 2 minutes longer, but it moved so fast that I didn't, like, the emotional beats didn't get to breathe. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen with Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah, I saw this movie for a second time, I want to say on Saturday.
I saw you say you loved it.
Loved it. First time I really liked this movie.
Yeah.
Had some issues. Second time I saw it, those issues kind of were like,
whatever.
It's whatever. And young man, you cannot have my pizza. Talking to my dog. But yeah, the second time I really loved it. And I think I loved it more the second time because I went into it kind of understanding the tone of the movie, and not having to adjust. Because I tell you, when I saw it the first time, the moment that the movie starts to like Lex getting into the Fortress of Solitude, like quick, it was, and it just seemed like things were just like happening, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, as you know, I don't love when things are just happening, right?
Yeah.
Second time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. And then the second time I saw it, I actually got a lot more emotional the second time I saw it than the first time, because those emotional beats are hitting in my second viewing. I don't think I got emotional the first time I saw it. I definitely got emotional the second time I saw it.
I got emotional once in the first time I saw it, and that's when the black kid lifted the flag.
Mm-hmm.
That got like a tear coming out of me, and that was like the one time I was like, "Oh shit, here we go!" And then it kind of went away after that.
A lot of people talked about after he saves that woman from that building that's fallen, and he's rising out of the smoke. The first time I saw it, I saw it. It looked cool. The second time I saw it, I was like, man, this is amazing. Like everything kind of slowed down for me seeing it for the second time.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So maybe when I see it again, hopefully that happens to me too.
The second time I saw it, the ending when he's like in the chair, like with his parents.
Yeah.
I was like, tears. You know what I mean?
Tears.
It's so good. But yeah, I really enjoyed it the second time a lot. Even though I really liked it the first time, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to see it again before I put out my review because I wanted to put out my initial thoughts of it. But yeah, seeing the second time, it kind of like buffered all those thoughts. So yeah.
Well, overall, I think Superman is a strong start. I do think maybe James Gunn shouldn't write any of these movies. I think just from a plot structure standpoint, I just don't think the plot is structured well. I think that there's a lot of stuff that starts but doesn't get to flesh out because he does so much in the plot. I think the directing was really great. I think the movie looks way better than it looked in the trailers. A patient of mine works on the cinematography on this movie. And she had to be discharged, and she called me to come back, and she said, "Did you see Superman?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said, "It looked better, right, on the screen?" I was like, "Yeah, it did." I told you, because she told me the filter that they use on trailers, and she said this is for every movie trailer, not just the Superman. They use a different filter on the trailer than they use in the movie, which I think is the dumbest thing ever. Because people were saying that Fantastic Four, which I guess we could switch into this discussion about like Fantastic Four and Superman.
Let's get some comments first.
Yeah. I'll finish, then we'll get to the comments. Yeah. I think that Fantastic Four looks good, but it looked like amazing. But a lot of the reviews and the reactions saying this is one of the best visually impressive films that the MCU's ever done. And I'm like, you don't see that in the trailers. So it's very, very interesting why trailers look one way and then the actual movie looks different.
Yeah, that's cool to hear.
So let's get into these comments. Also, Maverick has a lot to say.
Remind me, because I have a soapbox I want to get on about something. So as soon as we're done with these comments, you say, "Hey, Ken, your soapbox."
Soapbox, got you. Phase 4, 5 of the MCU is game of cameos. There's more cameos in your movie, the more money you make.
I feel like there's less cameos in Phase 4 and 5.
I guess that kind of makes sense. Yeah, because the 3 biggest movies of these phases all have cameos. That's No Way Home, which is a cameo fest. Multiverse of Madness is a cameo fest. Deadpool and Wolverine is a cameo fest. Those are the 3 highest grossing movies.
We said Deadpool, Wolverine, Spider-Man,
and Doctor Strange 2.
I don't count any of those as cameos.
How?
A cameo to me is Captain America walking with Thor in Thor: The Dark World. That's a cameo. Okay. A cameo to me is I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so those are cameos, or those are cameos to me. All three of the movies that you just mentioned, all those characters play major parts in those movies.
So if you feel like if you play a major part, you're not a cameo. It's like if you just
All
show up and
Spider-Man
leave.
were there for the rest of the movie and played
Yeah.
major parts in the movie. The Blade and the rest of that crew were in the rest of the movie and played a major part in the ending.
Well, not the whole movie. They were like in the second act. They were in the third act.
Who?
Blade and them got left behind. Remember, the third act is just Deadpool and Wolverine fighting a bunch of other Deadpools, and then they go into the thing to stop.
From the time they leave to go fight, what's her face? That's when the third act starts.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, you saying with the time they leave to go fight her, that's when the third act starts?
Yeah.
I feel like the third act was when they go and fight the Deadpools and then stop. What's the name again?
That's it starts with a C, I think.
I know the actress name, but I can't remember the character name. It's not important. But yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's just the second half of the third act. Like, even acts have different parts to them.
Well, of course. Yeah. You have to split up each of your acts up.
Yeah. So I count that as the entire third act, because to me, the second act is after, so they meet, right?
Yeah.
They meet up. They both run into Cassandra Nova. I just remember.
Cassandra Nova.
Yeah. They get their ass kicked by Cassandra Nova. Then they go on this journey in the minivan across, and they're fighting each other, and they're doing all this stuff, and they're trying to figure things out. Then they meet Blade and them, and they kind of like work out, okay, what the hell's happening there? And then the third act starts to me when they go to fight Cassandra, and that's when the third act starts. When they go fight her,
gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure they all got killed. But that's neither here nor there.
Apparently, no. There's a deleted scene saying Gambit, and all of them like got a portal, like a Doctor Strange portal, out of there. And apparently, because Gambit got announced for Doomsday, so yeah.
And Doctor Strange, pardon me, they don't just show up and like, hey, right?
Yeah, hopefully something's gonna happen.
They also
because even X-23 survived. She was in the end too.
Now I'm talking about Multiverse of Madness. The Illuminati, they show up. They're there. They fight Wanda. They hold Strange hostage. They have him in the tribunal. They tell him what happened to the Strange of their world. They do all this stuff. So to me, that's not a cameo. That's like, you are a central part of this movie. Like, the movie doesn't go anymore until we hit this part. And that's why, to me, I'm saying like a cameo is like, I don't know. Like I said, Loki walking or becoming Captain America in that one part. Or I'm trying to think of another one. But yeah.
So what would you call when a character from a different movie is in your movie?
Depends on how long they're in your movie. Like, that's like me saying...
No, like, they are a character in the... Like, Civil War, right? Like, we have different characters in that film throughout that have different times. But, like, the third act is... No, with none of those extra characters, just the main three of the story.
You're just the cast. That's
just the cast.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, I wouldn't call them cameos. Then they're part of the cast. They're just from different movies and franchise and things like that. But I get what he's trying to say. Like, there's other characters from movies being in your film, and that's how you make money. And at that point, that's true. The only one that doesn't affect is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That doesn't have any characters coming from somewhere else. It's all focused on the Black Panther core, and that movie made a lot of money.
Wong and Abomination and Shang-Chi, that's a cameo. They were just in and out. You know what I mean? They had no impact on the actual plot of this movie.
Plot of the story.
Yeah. It was like, oh, cool, Wong's here. You know, that was it.
The only MCU movies to make more than $900 million post Endgame were all cameo fests. Spider-Man: Far From Home was immediately post Endgame, like WandaVision, so got a huge boost from Endgame itself. I think it got a huge boost just being a Spider-Man movie. I don't think it was because of Endgame.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We talked about this before the stream. Pardon me, I'm eating because I haven't eaten in a long time.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, because I'm fat. But if you're Spider-Man, we were talking about, and we could talk about Fantastic Four a little bit here.
Yeah.
Talking about Fantastic Four may not do as well as Marvel would like. And the reason why
or as well as Superman. Yeah.
They put it out right next to Superman, which is just dumb. That's not a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Because the big four of like, don't put your movie next to mine, of specifically superheroes, is Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and any kind of Avengers film. I can even get away with, like, you can probably get away with putting something next to an X-Men movie. But those four,
for now.
For now. Those four, don't put your superhero movie, especially of characters who have had 3 movies that people kind of don't like, even though I do like those first 2 Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, but it's divisive.
Yeah.
And they haven't had an animated show or appearances. Like the Fantastic Four is just not in the mindset of people. And I think The Incredibles also, because that movie's so popular, is going to hurt Fantastic Four a little bit because people are going to not know that Incredibles really copy-pasted Fantastic Four, and they're going to think Fantastic Four is copy and pasted Incredibles. So that's going to hurt a little bit as well. Yeah. One thing I'll say, though, we talked about like the international box office not being that great for Superman. I think what will help Fantastic Four is that I think the international box office probably will be better for that one. I think the domestic box office is not going to be that great. I think it's going to perform probably under what we would like it to perform, especially if it's a great movie. But I do think international box office may end up being better just because it's such a different story.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening. But also just like not every MCU movie needs to make $900 million or more. That's not how it was before.
Right. That's Phase 3, particularly the end of Phase 3, is a complete anomaly that probably is never going to happen again, regardless of what franchise you're running. That is not a thing that happens.
That was a run that just does not happen.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Strange made 677. Ant-Man made around the same amount. Guardians probably made around the same amount. So, and that Guardians is one of the most popular movies. Homecoming made 880. Like these movies don't have to make $900 to $1 billion. Right. They just need to make a good amount of money and be good.
And we knew we were heading towards Endgame. So when I don't even know if Ragnarok made $1 billion. I know it was. I don't think it did.
But it did like 800 or something like that.
Once you hit, because it wasn't even a lot of Phase 3 either. It was Black Panther leading into Infinity War, leading into Captain Marvel, leading into Endgame.
Ant-Man. Well, Ant-Man.
Yeah. No. I'm saying the one that made $1 billion, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those 4. There's like 5 other movies in that phase.
Well, Civil War also.
Oh, yeah, Civil War. Did Civil War make $1 billion? I don't think it did. Right?
I'll check right now. Captain America.
If anything, Phase 3 isn't necessarily about how much money they made, even though they made a lot of money.
Made a billy.
It's about the quality of the films. That was a crazy ass run.
That's a crazy run.
With Ant-Man in the middle of it. Because Ant-Man is awful. But
and then that movie still ended up doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because it was right in the middle of Endgame and Infinity War, and everybody was speculating on how much Ant-Man was going to play into it. It was like at the end of the movie, he disappears. And that was it.
But he did end up playing he played a bigger, well, I'm not going to say bigger.
I'm saying like,
he played a bigger part in Endgame. Oh, in that movie. Okay.
Everybody's looking for clues in Captain Marvel and Ant-Man, and there were no like real clues until the very end of Ant-Man. And I don't think there were any clues at all in Captain Marvel to what was happening. Well, I mean, we already knew that she was being beamed up or got the beeper by Captain Planet. But yeah, that was about it.
The X-Men were in the main part of the Marvel of of the Marvels, not just in the post credit, it would have made $2 billion at the box office. Phase 4 and 5 are just game of cameos.
Wait,
that's interesting. He's saying if the X-Men were actually part of the Marvels movie instead of just at the end in the post credit scene, he thinks the movie would have made more money.
Probably depends on which X-Men.
Yeah, the last 2 Deadpool movies didn't make $1 billion because they didn't have so many big cameos like Blade. Same with Spider-Man.
I would say the last 2 Deadpool movies didn't make $1 billion because that's not what movies did a lot.
Especially R-rated movies. Like R-rated movies don't make $1 billion like that.
Yeah.
He's really stuck on these cameos. Made cameos into the post-credit scene. Captain America: Civil War made $1 billion because of the cameos. Guardians 3 didn't have any cameos, but it used the ultimate gimmick. He's our last movie. Well, that movie didn't make $1 billion. It just made around.
A gimmick. It was their last movie.
Yeah. Black Widow 2 had no cameos. Is Pedro Pascal overexposed in too many movies or TV shows?
Not to me. I mean, I guess not to me. I think this question, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, Maverick. I think this question often comes up if you're tired of seeing somebody.
Yeah.
For me, someone just actually posted something earlier. I think it was something I saw on like Instagram or something like that, where they were at a movie theater and they were looking.
I saw that too.
Yeah, it was The Materialist, Eddington, Fantastic Four,
all next to each other.
All Pedro Pascal movies. I like The Materialist, even though it was weird. Like I keep going back and forth with Materialist. It was a weird movie. I
overall like that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Eddington more than most other R.E.S. movies I like or I've seen. And yeah, Fantastic Four comes out. That's just, I don't know, man. Like, because I think the thing that's important to understand is that Pedro Pascal doesn't decide when these movies come out.
Yeah, it's weird that like they all came out in a like 3-month span. Yeah. And The Last of Us just ended like recently.
I don't think people would be saying this if Materials came out in February, Fantastic Four came out in tomorrow, and
Eddington
came out
like November,
October, November. Yeah, it's just the fact that the movie studios decided to have a Pedro Science in the middle of the summer.
He also had Freaky Tales as well, which came out, which I heard was a really good movie.
I didn't get a chance to see that. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, it's on. I think it's on rental, or it might be on streaming. I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, no, look. So overexposed actors. When people say that, is for actors who do the same thing all the time. Like The Rock became overexposed because he was doing the same type of movie with the same type of performance with the same gray shirt on every film. So he became overexposed, and that's why I'm excited to see him in a Smashing Machine because it's completely different from what he normally does. Mm-hmm. He is a good actor, but he doesn't get to stretch his acting ability because he keeps doing the same kind of movies. He got lazy. Thing with Pedro Pascal, when I watch him in The Materialist versus when I watch him in Last of Us, those are 2 completely different performances, 2 different people, right? Like I don't see Pedro Pascal when he's playing Joel. I see Joel. Mm. When I see him doing The Materialist, I see Pedro Pascal. I see the person Pedro Pascal. He's not really playing a character there. When I saw him in Eddington, I didn't see the guy from The Materialist.
Nope.
He's playing a different character. He's still charming, but it wasn't the same. And also, he wasn't a star. I think that's another thing that helps is that he's not always a star. Like if he was always the lead actor in everything, because even in Freaky Tales, he's not the lead actor. He's a supporting actor in that movie.
He's not the lead in Materialist either.
He's not the lead in Materials. And then even last year when he came out with that movie you don't like, that I like, Drive-Away Dolls. He was a very small part in that movie. He's a very small part in that movie. So like he does a good job of making sure that he's not the lead actor all the time, but he's seen. You know? Mm-hmm. And even Fantastic Four, they're saying that Vanessa Kirby is the lead. So like,
and the funny thing is, even with The Mandalorian, you see his face twice a season.
Yeah. And everyone really talks about Grogu more than they talk about him.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think he's overexposed. I think he's just a working actor. Actors got to work. That whole like, they keep hiring the same amount of people. Like, I gotta work.
Yeah, nigga, I'm working.
I got bills to pay. That's like me. Somebody at my job is just like, oh, can we get somebody else at the front desk? No, I need it. I got bills to pay.
What's more surprising is the amount of movies Samuel L. Jackson has not been in this year.
That's true. That boy, he be working. He's the Snoop Dogg of films.
Yeah.
Anyone seen Cuba Gooding Jr. movie called Gladiator? Like a boxing movie? No, I haven't. Have you?
No.
The three best Superman anything are Superman 1, 2, Christopher Reeves, and Smallville. It's funny that you talked about that because we literally had a live stream discussing this very topic. And based on my list, I do not agree.
Yeah. I'm on the opposite end of you with that too. And also, I actually just finished Smallville season 1, not Smallville, Superman and Lois season 1, and it's pretty damn good.
Thank God! I'm glad that you're watching it and enjoying it.
I realized, like, so you know what's funny, Zach? When I started watching it maybe like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I rewatched it. I didn't start from the beginning. I started from kind of maybe a couple of episodes from where I started. You know, I left that show with 3 episodes left in the first season.
Oh wow!
And I just never went back to it. No. So yeah, I finished the first season this time. Yeah. But I left after his brother gets caught. And he's like in the kryptonite cage.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 more episodes after that.
Yeah.
That's when I left.
That twist, those 2 twists in that season, the Lex one and then Taro.
What was
Chef's
the Lex
kiss?
Was? I don't remember the Lex was.
Steel.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we thought he was Lex Luthor, and then end up being.
Oh man, maybe I should have started from the beginning of season 1. I completely forgot about that. I just remember.
Okay, yeah.
When I started,
so the way that character started,
yeah.
So the way it started was that he was an interdimensional Lex Luthor who thought Superman was going to go bad, so he wanted to kill this version. So he was the hero in his head, but then in the that is actually Jeremy Irons and he's Steel. Like that twist was like
that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, and just giving Superman a brother was really cool. It was like kind of a Thor Loki situation.
Mm-hmm. Can we also talk about how good the effects are on this show for a CW show? Not even for a CW show, like in general.
Period.
These effects are like I'll be watching Superman fly. I'm like, this looks really good.
This looks flying looks great. Wait till you get to season 2. There's a flying scene in there where I was like, how much money did you spend on this? Mm-hmm. Where he has to like save one of the kids.
Yeah.
Yo, Superman and Lois is my favorite Superman thing. Animated thing, not comic, but like not animated. Like live action animated, just adaptation of this character because it just understands the character and we actually get to see him older. So he's like, he's himself. He's the full character. And now he's dealing with other flaws, like not being the best father and being the best. Like we getting to see him deal with stuff that he didn't get to deal with before.
I got to tell you, I'm not excited about the melodrama of Steele's daughter coming back and that whole dynamic. Like when the season ended like that, the first season, and then the beginning of the second season, I was kind of like, oh God, here we go.
It's not that bad.
Because you know how CW does. They be dragging they be dragging that emotion out. Like even like the first episode, I'm sorry, I know we're talking about something we had no business talking about. The first episode of the second season, because I did start watching it, Clark was like, are you gonna call her? I'm like, she has no responsibility to that little girl.
Yeah.
She don't know her. Why should she feel bad about not calling him? Clark's pressing her, you should call her. It's like,
it's a complicated situation. I get what he's saying, that empathy factor that he has. It's like, yeah, you don't have any connection with her, but also like you look like a mom. It's a complicated situation. She's going to be around. It's a complicated situation, but I get what you're saying. But What I'll say about Superman and Lois, that CW melodrama, they write it well. To me, I think so. Like I think they write it well. It doesn't drag out. It's not a 22 episode thing where it's like, why is this not solved already? That's what I'll say.
Arrow was notorious for that.
Oh yeah, all of them. So Flash too. James Gunn Superman reminds me of the animated series My Adventures with Superman. I could definitely see that. I think it's closer to that than the 90s animated show.
Oh yeah, 100% agree with that.
I like Hancock more. I think most people in other countries don't really identify with Superman because of the very Americana aspect of it. I actually think more people would watch it if they knew it tackles the themes. That's interesting as well. Yeah, because they slowly have been trying to kind of get that Americana thing away from Superman and make him more of a world-traveled hero. He speaks different languages, and part of his journey is leaving Kansas and going to different countries and things like that, and learn and experiencing life and seeing the differences in people. But there is still that Americana. He's wearing that red and blue and bright, even though he doesn't have white in his costume. It just has that red and blue, and he just feels American.
Mm-hmm.
If someone didn't know who Superman was, and you go, "That's Captain America," people will be like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
I don't think that's true.
What do you mean? Why not?
Because everybody knows who Superman is.
You know, I said if someone didn't, like, I'm just saying, if there was a chance somebody didn't know Superman, a newborn that's like, not newborn, like a kid that's like 5, and you're like, that's Captain America. That makes sense. If you see Batman and you go, that's Captain America.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I hope Supergirl's good. I do agree. Same. Supergirl, Helen Slater, 84 is underrated. That's a guilty pleasure for me.
Oh, yeah? I haven't seen that movie in ages. Maybe decades. Yeah.
Who's the new Wonder Woman actress? We don't have one yet. Nope. The movie's still being written. James Gunn announced Nubia, the Black Wonder Woman. Well, he didn't announce her. He just said that she will be around.
Yeah.
Superman is a live action cartoon.
Kind of announced.
Huh?
I guess that's kind of announcing her.
Yeah. I just, when I say announcers, like, Nubia's been around. It's not like he just made her up or anything like that. Tennis Reaper! What's up?
What up, Tennis? Hey, man. How you doing?
How you doing, man? I hope they have Lar Freeze and redeemed Sinestro in the Green Lantern show. Okay.
You want them to redeem Sinestro?
It's happened in the comics.
I don't like when Sinestro's redeemed.
Oh, you don't like it?
I don't like the fact that they're redeeming all these villains.
Gotcha.
They should want to let the heels say heels, man. Like, just we need villains. You know what I mean? Like,
I do think it leaves space for new villains to come in and kind of be the forefront.
Yeah. When they turned,
but I get what you're saying.
Doc Ock like semi good. It was a really good story for sure. But at some point, Doc Ock should just Doc Ock. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, get him back. But yeah, let's talk about our. We talked about the difference between Fantastic Four and Superman's box office and the possibilities there, because there was a big discussion leading into this month. Who's going to make more money, Jurassic World or Superman or this? So we already know Jurassic World actually is making a lot of money. It's not making the money that the other movies make, like the $1 billion or whatever that does, but it's still making a whole lot of money, and the budget was like $180 million versus like Superman, which was 225.
Yeah.
So like dinosaurs still selling. You know what I mean? People still like dinosaurs. I think,
people love dinosaurs.
People love dinosaurs, and I think that Superman is going to be around the same amount as Jurassic World is right now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling people are going to react to Fantastic Four, and what is your expectations of the movie?
I don't know what to expect from this movie. That's the crazy part. I really, really don't. It's been a while since we've had a brand new, like, quote unquote franchise in the MCU, right? Well, I guess you could say Thunderbolts is, but Thunderbolts is made up of people that we've seen before.
In
this iteration. So in this iteration of the Fantastic Four, we haven't seen them. They haven't been hinted at, and unless you count the post credit scene of what's it called, Thunderbolt. So I think the last like new person we've had in a movie is Shang-Chi.
Internals. And I think that was the same. That was the same year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we haven't really had that in a while. So
yeah.
I am expecting more leaning into more of the comic bookiness than the previous movies did.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I have not seen Fantastic. That's the only one I haven't seen. I thought about watching it before seeing the one I'm seeing on Thursday. Probably not going to do that because I would rather spend my time doing something I enjoy.
And I told you not to do it.
Yeah.
I turned that shit off.
That's also a big part of it too. But yeah, I'm expecting. You know what I'm expecting? So from what we've seen from the trailers, I'm expecting a really good family dynamic, which is is kind of like a duh for a Fantastic Four movie. However, the previous two, the ones with Tim Story, they were a family.
Why are you saying it like that?
But they didn't necessarily feel like the closest people in the world. Just from the trailers, these niggas feel close. They feel like a tight family unit. And then you throw the baby in there, and that presents a new and interesting
Franklin Richards.
Yeah. And then you throw in non-Cloud Galactus in there. I think the person I'm excited for the most is actually Silver Surfer.
Shia LaBeouf, or however you say her name.
It's not Shia LaBeouf. I'll tell you that. That's a whole another, first of all, man.
That's Shia LaBeouf. Okay.
That's very close to what you said.
Leave me alone. Yeah, go ahead.
Her name is Jennifer Garner. First of all,
she's Shia LaBeouf. I was close.
Oh, you talking about the character's name?
Yeah. Well, you thought I was talking about her actual real name in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, Julia Garner. Is it Julia? Yeah, Julia Garner is. That's my girl from Ozark. I have a question for you. This is another sidetrack. And for now, we're going to be sidetracking sometimes in the live stream because natural conversation, man.
What y'all going to do?
Are there actors where like they did a role or they did a series or they did a movie where like you got their back for life because of that, right? Are there certain actors like that for you?
Actors who I've seen in something, and then I'm like, anytime they in something, I'm damn.
Because of what you did in that last thing.
This is gonna feel like a cop out, but Janelle Monáe, because after Glass Onion, just
Hidden Figures. She was great in that too.
She was great in Hidden Figures too. But Glass Onion was like just another level of I didn't know
she was great.
You could do this, and now I'm like put her in whatever she wants to be in. You know what? To an extent, I would say, I don't even remember her name specifically, but she was in the show called Russian Doll. Actually, she was in the show.
Oh, Natasha Lyonne.
She was in Orange.
She's in Fantastic Four.
What?
Yeah, she's gonna be in this movie, First Steps.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. If you ask me, she don't fit in this movie. Like when I think of Natasha,
and when she got casted, I was like, huh?
It's not even that. It's like when I saw like seeing the trailers, I'm like, we don't need a wisecracking cigarette voice redhead. Where's she gonna fit in that? But
that's exactly what she's.
So I followed her from Orange is the New Black to Russian Doll to Poker Face, which is great.
Poker Face so good.
But yeah, so anytime she's in something, so now I'm excited. I'm even more excited. I want to see what she does. But is she playing Herbie? No, that's not.
No, she's gonna be herself. Not herself, but she's gonna be human.
Okay. That sucks. She should be something super. Even though I don't know what I would cast her as. But but yeah. So Yeah. So
For me, Julia Garner is one of those people for me. Just because her in Ozark as Ruth,
Oh yeah,
anything, I'm with her. Like and I'm excited for her to be in this movie, and hopefully everybody's saying that she does a great job so far. Like one of the things that people are saying with these first reactions and these reviews is that she does a great. Not only does Silver Surfer look way better than it did in the trailer,
Okay.
but she does a great job.
That's good.
So I'm excited for that. So she's one of those. But you know who also is one of those? And this is because I was watching Predators, Killers. The guy who plays, or is it Ortiz, the pilot? Torres. That's the guy who played Wild Dog and Arrow. And if you were in a CW DC show, you have my back end, right? Like if you're Stephen ML be wilding out. But if you're Emily Ricketts or whatever you say her name, Felicity, if you're a person that played Iris, if you're the guy that played the Flash, that's my homie. If you played Supergirl, if you were part of Team Arrow, if you're in something, I'm watching it. So when I heard his voice, yeah, he was in Coach Carter.
Yeah, I was about to say he did all them suicides and them push-ups.
Yeah. So yeah, when I heard his voice, I was like, yeah, him, Danny Ramirez, and there's one other guy. Like,
oh, I can tell you one, which will seem like what he's been huge.
And drop your comments down below in the live stream for actors that like because of a role they did, you follow them everywhere.
When Mahershala Ali played Cottonmouth, I was like, who is this nigga?
Yeah,
I didn't know him before that.
Me neither.
And ever since then, I was like, yo, this guy is great.
It's good.
So yeah, like he
had Denzel potential if he just had a better agent.
Bro, what was that? I was talking about something. Oh yeah. It was Jurassic Park. I was like, yeah, when's the last time Mahershala Ali has been in a movie? And it's not Marvel's fault or Blade's fault. Because it's been 5 years since then, and I think I've seen him in 2 movies.
Yeah, Leave the World Behind,
and Swan Song, but I think that was before that announcement.
Yeah,
yeah, Leave the World Behind, and this, and I'm sure he's. I want to say I'm sure he's been in something else, but I'm actually not sure he's been in something else.
I don't think he is. There's this guy on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure he puts it other places that are talking about like. Why are these actors that are non-white not in stuff? Like, where's Daniel Kaluuya? Where's Lupita Nyong'o? Where's Mahershala Ali? He has like videos talking about this. Like, they win these awards, right? Like Lupita Nyong'o won Best Actress, Daniel Kaluuya won Best Actor, and Mahershala Ali won Best Actor. But they're not getting the opportunities that people who didn't win get. Like they were talking about how like Lupita beat Margot Robbie, but Margot Robbie isn't stuff.
Yeah,
you know. And she's not. It's weird.
Yeah. I was going to say kind of with Lupita, only because I know she was the star of Wild Robot.
And Quiet Place Day One.
And in Quiet Place Day One. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, but she was in 3 Star Wars.
Being more stuff though.
She was in Black.
She was in Star Wars.
Yeah, she plays the little orange woman.
What? I want to see Lupita's face. I didn't even know that was her.
I mean, who doesn't want to see Lupita's face? Oh, she was in Jordan Peele's thing, Us. You know what I mean? So
where she should have won an award for. She was so good.
She really should have. I think that she didn't win an award. Well, now after Amelia Perez, it's hard to say this, but I feel like she didn't win the award because the movie wasn't that great.
I thought it was great.
I wish it was better.
It is divisive.
It wasn't awful, but you just can't tell me that there's a tunnel full of niggas from the East Coast of America to the West Coast. Just one singular tunnel full. Anyway, a clone. I just don't.
It's too much for you.
It's not too much for me. It's too far fetched for the movie. It's like, hey, you took this concept and then you just went off the deep end. It was like, hey man, have some, not Jordan Peele. Well, I guess kind of some common sense. Like this doesn't make any sense.
But like, if we're going to do the concept of doppelgangers controlling people from above, That's already a insane concept. So I don't see why the tunnel can't be a thing.
Well, we all know that there's rules in every world. Like
That's one of their rules.
That rule doesn't work for me. Like
there you go. See, I told you
can't
it doesn't work for you.
You
Too much.
can't build a tunnel from the East Coast to the West Coast and expect me to believe that all these clones are just.
Why not?
It makes zero sense. That's why.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Anyway,
I don't know if it makes zero. Charlize Theron says it frustrates me that Hollywood takes risks on men who flop at the box office, but women don't get a chance. That's true.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth's movie flop. Yep, and he keeps starring in movies.
Do they?
Chris Hemsworth, I said so, right? Yeah. His movies outside the MCU don't do well.
He has movies outside the MCU. Other than like Men in Black flopped for sure.
Yeah.
Extraction never got a chance to be in the theater.
El Grande at the Royale or El Royale something he was in.
I forgot about that. I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, like he has a couple movies. I don't think Rush did well. Even though I heard that movie's great.
I don't think it did well. I didn't see it.
So yeah. How did Neza 2 make $2 billion at the box office? That China money, baby. Everybody over there watched that shit.
Yeah. It wasn't just from the US box office.
Yeah. Big international. If you ever talk about international split, that's probably like 80-20.
Yeah.
And it's about to make more money.
They love Neza.
Yeah.
Yes, ask the Americans who have reviewed it.
Yeah. Go watch, when it comes out August, go watch it. You'll see why. That movie is so damn. That's my favorite movie of the year.
I'm thinking about reviewing it just for the boost it'll give my channel.
Yeah, do it, man. Mm-hmm. You're gonna want to review it once you watch it. The Marvels face challenges such as SAG strike and lack of star promotion contributed to low box office performance. A lot of people don't talk about that with that movie. It did come when in the middle of the strike, so nobody could promote it, and it was a pandemic movie.
Can't go on radio stations, Breakfast Club, all these different places that you cannot go to. You can't even talk about it really. Like
no,
the only place they could go to is premieres. Because
that was limited
common sense, you know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, that's true. And then they didn't help themselves either with the marketing of it. Granted, they couldn't market it a lot, but how they did market it was not great. So
it says Kevin Feige basically said the Marvels should have been titled Captain Marvel 2, the Marvels as a subtitle to make more money. So thank you for bringing that up. Let's transition into our last topic. Oh, wait. Sorry. Before we do that, you said you had a soapbox.
Yeah. So it was like movie fans, right? So essentially what I saw this on Twitter, not Twitter. I saw this on Threads. The Mortal Kombat trailer came out, and there's a particular young lady in that trailer who's playing Jade, right? And Jade is a Mortal Kombat character. And one of the people who, like, someone commented or reposted the screenshot of the person playing the character and said something to the effect of actors don't even care to look like the characters anymore, right? Which I said, or actually somebody else said, not like seconded, they're not in charge of the costume design.
Why do people do blame actors for stuff that had nothing to do with it?
Why do people think that actors go home and make their own costumes and cosplay and just show up to set? That's not how things work. From the hair to the makeup to the clothes that you wear is all decided by someone else. You said yes to this role. Now, if you're Tom Cruise, you might be able to say, hey, I'm not wearing that blazer. But most people aren't Tom Cruise.
Most actors do not have that power at all.
Zero. They will replace you in a heartbeat, especially for something that costs as low as Mortal Kombat 2 comparatively to other movies. So the overall soapbox is exactly what you said. People be blaming actors for stuff that has nothing to do with them. Oh yeah, they like it's it's very similar to like wrestling in a sense. I can compare it to that, right? Someone wins the title, like Gunther, who we all know is a really good wrestler. You're like, oh, Gunther's a terrible champion. No. They're terrible bookers and storytellers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Gunther doesn't
Yeah.
decide what matches he goes to. Do you think Gunther decides? He does not have that kind of power. That nigga shows up to work and does
the best the best he can with what they give him.
Oh, James' title run was trash. They wrote a trash title run. So in the same way, relating it to movies, actors literally show up, put this on, say this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe
and they could try to fight it, but at the end of the day, they don't have the final say. And to even piggyback off that point, a lot of people talk about, oh, you could tell this person didn't do the research. A lot of times, especially when it comes to comic book movies or like adaptations, these writers direct say, don't read the stuff. Don't look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you want them to do? You want them to do, they're going to, all right, I'm going to trust you.
Yeah.
They blame these people for things that they just have no control of.
That's in addition to the point that it's a job for these people. This is not a passion project. It's a job. They said, oh, wait, my agent said they got this thing at Disney for this guy named Thor. Okay, cool. What time do I need to be there? All right, I'm going to read these lines. Cool. I'm Tom Hiddleston. I'm auditioning for Thor, even though I am pencil thin. Yeah, I'm showing up.
I'm doing my best.
You think Tom Hiddleston looked at the comic books and said, oh, man, no, he's way bigger than I am. I guess I shouldn't even go for this role. No, that nigga showed up. and
he was like, I'm going to try my best.
Right. So that's just not how things work. It's a job. It's a job.
It's a job.
It's a job. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You are lucky if you have someone like a James Gunn who is so knowledgeable about how these characters should be, is the writer and the director, who can tell you, hey, Superman should smile and look and face and whatever like this. And people are like, oh, yeah, that's Superman. That's the Superman I recognize. You're lucky if you have someone like that in most times. Yeah. That's why Bryan Singer dressed all the X-Men up in black suits, because the nigga don't.
He said it looks ridiculous.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Before we go on, I have to say thank you, DJ. Gave us a super chat for $5. Appreciate you so much.
You, DJ.
He says, sup, guys? Can't hang. Just want to support and say hello. Also, Superman 2025 rules. I hope F4 is just as fun. Catch y'all later. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.
I appreciate you. And to that, I have to say...
A large popcorn. A large? You got money. He got money. Get it all for him.
All
of it.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, DJ. All
right. So, Kevin Feige decided to do the rare interview with Variety that he's not like James Gunn, who's very front facing. Kevin Feige likes to man things from the shadows. He peeks out a little bit sometimes when there's a Comic-Con, and then he goes back into his hiding hole.
He's a shield agent.
Yeah, what you said?
He's a shield agent.
He's a shield agent. He even looks at people like that. He's like, yo, say that spoiler again so I can shoot you.
Right.
But he talked about a lot of stuff with Variety, run down some of the things. But some of the stuff was a little sketchy for me, and I want to talk to you about it. But someone asked him about, like, what's the plan? Like, what are we going on with? And he said, we traditionally make 5-year plans, and we have a plan till 2032.
Cool.
How do you feel about them being planned up until 2032?
I think it makes sense. Reason being, because when you start a movie to when it ends can take anywhere from 3 to 4 years. So if you have, or sometimes it takes shorter than that, depending on what you're making. But movies take a long time to make. You know what I mean? Blade is abnormal, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. But I know we'll talk about that. But like, movies take a minute from the writing to the casting to all that stuff, and especially in a connected universe like this, you shouldn't at least have the bullet points of where you're going. Things will change along the way, But I'm going to do Shang-Chi 2. I'm going to do Doctor Strange 3. I'm going to do Black Panther 3. I'm going to do Thunderbolts 2 or Young Avengers 2. Just change it back to Thunderbolts. It's a much better name. I'm going to do these two Avengers names. That we're going to start the X-Men. If you don't have a 7-year plan, you're going to end up
like fumble in the bag,
like DC a little bit. But yeah, so
no, that's correct. They didn't have they did have a plan, but they fumbled on the plan. Like they were like, okay, we're not doing this anymore.
Right,
like that's the problem.
You're switching it up. Or to be fair, you're going to end up like Star Wars. What's the point? Nobody.
They don't have a plan. They just be doing stuff.
They be announcing stuff and then canceling it. How many directors have they announced? Oh, we've hired such and such. The movie's not happening. So
yeah,
like we are fortunate to hear that they are actually shooting the Mandalorian movie, because most movies they announce don't even get shot. So
yeah, that's true. And then he dropped this fact, and he was talking about the quality the quality of the MCU in terms of what was going on. He said we produced 50 hours of stories between 2007 and 2019. So that's 12 years, 50 hours. But he said in the 6 years since Endgame, we've earned well over 100 hours in half that time. Which, that's insane to think about. What do you think about like the fact that they've done so much in such a short amount of time?
It hasn't served them well. What's funny about that too? So okay, let's take it from a couple of different directions. It hasn't served them well because they've put a lot of different projects on a lot of different platforms, and me personally, I just think that that's a bad idea in general, because I don't know that a lot of people who were watching the movies actually did watch the TV shows, which at the time felt like they were really going to play into what the movies were going to be. And I think, and I'll make this really short because I'm long-winded, but basically for a fan, a casual fan, or even a comic book fan, it is very easy to get me to go to a movie theater for 2 hours and get a whole story and be done with it, and then come back in 3 to 4 months and get the second part of the story or the next part of the chapter of the saga and call it a day, because I can watch all my other movies and all my other TV shows, and I can
all
watch
my other hobbies.
Right, and I can watch my DC shows and all this other stuff. But I do know I'll be at the movies for a Marvel movie, or a Marvel, as the guy from Friendship said, in May, July, and October. I'll see a Marvel movie for 2 hours. 2 hours out of my day.
Yeah.
If you start putting out TV shows back to back to back that have to do with the universe, I was like, all right, I got it. What? And who is this? Who's this little Johnny? Who's the boy with the star on his helmet? Like you got all that stuff going. Because my dad has not watched. My dad has seen every MCU movie, has not seen a single TV show. My dad's not everybody, but my dad is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
it's just proof that when you look at the Nielsen ratings, you look at the shows aren't doing as good as like the premium shows on other streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. When they chart, they're either in the middle of the pack or below. And the stuff that actually is doing good, they're not following up. WandaVision was a big show for them. They didn't really follow up that properly. Loki was a big show for them. They didn't really follow that up properly. And then now Agatha is a big show for them, and they're not following that up anytime soon. So it's kind of like when you guys get big shows, it's the shows that you probably don't think is going to be big, and then you don't have a plan for it.
And I think that this is exactly why, we ask all the time, where's Shang-Chi 2? You know what I mean? Where's Eternals 2? Where are these sequels to these movies? Right? Yeah. I think the problem is you only have so much money for production. You only have so much attention you can give, and Feige's attention was spread out through, it felt like 6 or 7 projects a year at one point.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's just dumb. That reminds me of Brian Michael Bendis when in 2016 he was writing Spider-Man, he was writing Defenders, he was writing one of the, I was about to call it premium live events, an event. He was writing so
Secret
many,
Empire or something like that.
Empire. He was writing I think that was Nick Spencer. He was writing so many different titles at one time. And he was writing Ironheart. He was writing Iron Man.
He was just spreading himself way too thin.
I think he was writing a Luke Cage story too. Like, he was writing so many different books at one time, and all of them suffered for it. So I think that was kind of the thing that Kevin Feige ran into. He was the guy who was doing the dotting every T and crossing every I, but you can't do that with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So slow it down.
One thing he said in an interview. Sorry, continue.
No, I'm done.
One thing he said in his interview that I agree with him is that these phases, they've experimented a lot, and I always give them credit for experimenting because most franchises don't. Star Wars, famously, all 9 of their movies are very similar in terms of like it's good versus evil. This person is a chosen one. There's a little bit of a love story. Like there's a similarity, and then once you kind of try to experiment a little bit, people go crazy about it. The MCU, like Eternals, is very different from anything they've done. Shang-Chi's kind of different from anything they've done in terms of culturally, and who was front facing in that film. Some of the shows, the Marvels having a non-sequel to a movie with 2 TV show characters coming in, and how that works, and there's a lot of stuff that the MCU is doing in these phases that just we've never seen before.
Yeah,
and he talked, and I always give him credit to that, but I think he also talked about how like we just did too many things at one time. It was too much experiment at one time, where you kind of need that stable thing where you do a stable bunch of characters, then you can experiment here and there. Kind of like Guardians. Guardians was an experiment that ended up paying off.
Yep.
Who knew that a talking tree and raccoon was going to go, be so big for a lot of people? That could have easily failed.
Give me 1 second. Let me let this boy out. Be right back.
Yep. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments while I wait for him. Green Lantern, the animated series, is brilliant. I haven't seen it. Tron Ares looks interesting. I haven't seen any of the Tron things for a long time. I'm not sure how interested I am in Tron. Do you use X? I just quit Twitter/X. I'm now on Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. And I have a Facebook page for my YouTube channel. I think Avatar 3 will make another $2 billion. I agree. The Lawrence Report! He said, what's up, fellas? Superman had a lot of emotional points. For me, it did have a points that it was going for that was emotional, but it didn't get me emotional. They have to do that for the trailers because the resolution quality on most apps and stuff. That makes sense. The trailer is the one way and the movies are another way. Is try to put butts in seats. Yeah, I get that. But if you want to put the butts in seats, you got to make the movie look great in the trailer. Like when I watch the Dune trailer, it looks amazing for Doom 1 and 2. And then when I go watch the movie, it's like, yeah, this is what I saw in the trailer that looked amazing. But when I see Superman and then I see Fantastic Four and then I go to the movie, it looks different.
Even the creator looked great on the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then when you watch the movie, it looks exactly like what we thought it was going to look. So it's something that they're specifically doing with superhero movies. Kevin Feige also talked about being inspired by Superman and how much he loved it. And he talked about one of the big inspirations was the fact that they jump straight into it, right? There's no like long setting up and all this stuff, introducing all these elements. It's just a fleshed out world. He said, you don't know who Mr. Terrific is? Tough. You'll figure it out as you go. Mm-hmm. And we see like the way people are reacting to that movie and how Mr. Terrific is a standout character without any origin or anything like that. How that works, right? People are attaching to that character without really knowing who he is.
Yep.
Do you think that's an approach that the MCU can take, or do you feel like we expect a certain level of setup with them because that's what they did before?
I think we. Sorry. I think we've kind of, in some ways, had that. But the MCU does a really good job of, even if this is the first time you're meeting somebody, they will take the time to tell you this is who this person is. Now we can move forward. I think back to America Chavez and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They walked through the thing. She stepped on the memory thing. They told her exactly who she is, where she came from, where her trauma is, why she struggles with her powers, and blah blah blah. And then we moved on, and that's all we needed to know. Actually, we opened up with her being chased by Doctor Strange, and then or not, or by some kind of demon being defended by Doctor Strange, and then the big I wouldn't even call it reveal, the big kind of information dump of this is who America Chavez is. Didn't necessarily stop the movie. It was kind of we needed to know. But do I think that the MCU could just? You know what? I think people overestimate how many people actually knew who Black Panther was or is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when he showed up in Civil War,
when you think about it, it's very Mr. Terrific, what he did in Civil War.
My dad died. I'm gonna kill y'all niggas. That was his arc. I'm killing all y'all. And that was what we knew. He was so cool, Mr. Terrific. He was so cool in Civil War that people got really excited to find out who he was after the fact. My dad is 61 years old. I have never heard of Mr. Terrific. I was shocked to hear that.
Oh, wow.
And this is a gentleman who has read comics before. He had no idea who Mr. Terrific was. Absolutely love Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing. Another thing he said, and this is where I kind of took a little offense to where I feel like he was trying to treat us like we're stupid. Mm-hmm. He said, Thunderbolts, I thought was a very good movie, but nobody knew that title, and many of those characters were from a TV show. Feige, what are you talking about? There was only one character from that movie that was from a TV show. Everyone else was introduced in movies.
I mean, I'm not tripping. He's wrong.
But he's wrong. Yeah, it seems like he's trying to blame it on the fact that they didn't watch the shows and we're going to be doing less shows, so that's why the movie didn't do good. It's no.
Was that the thought process?
Yeah. He's talking about what?
Was that the question that led to him saying? Was there a question that led to him saying that specifically about the Thunderbolts?
He talked about the decline of the box office for the MCU, and he talked about how most recently Thunderbolts has earned some best reviews from Marvel received in years, but only grossed $380 million. And then he said, I thought Thunderbolts was a very good movie, but nobody knew that title, and many of those characters were from the TV show. So some audience were not into it.
Nobody does know the title Thunderbolts. They know it.
That's
now.
true.
The characters, though, are a different story. I think the only person who actually came, and that's a funny thing. I heard regular people, not Feige, saying this. The reason why I didn't succeed is because they all came from a TV show. The only person who came from a TV show was U.S. Agent. The only person.
Everyone else was introduced in the movie.
Yeah.
And also, Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and people wanted to go see that. I, as a comic book reader, did not know about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No idea who those people are. Zero.
And then this is not even the team that was in the comics. So even if you were a comic reader, you're like, what is this?
Right.
They changed it after the movie got popular.
Yeah.
So that's not the best excuse.
And we're not the only ones. There's a lot of comic book fans who were reading comics and had no idea who the Guardian. That came out of left.
Yeah. I've heard of the Thunderbolts a couple times.
Yeah.
I might never read it. I know Bucky was on the team, but I've heard of the Thunderbolts.
I've seen the logo.
I've never heard of Guardians.
In the store. Never heard of Guardians.
Yeah. Never heard of Guardians. So I think that's a little bit of,
Also, Ant-Man is another person who the general public don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Right? As a matter of fact, they chose the least known Ant-Man too.
That's true. They didn't choose the first Ant-Man. They chose the second one, which is not the guy that gets the comics all the time.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm not.
So he talked about how. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not offended by it, but it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say most of them spent their time in TV shows. I guess you could say most of them spent most of their time in TV shows. Is what I mean to say.
So
Elena was in
Black
Hawkeye.
Widow.
She was in. I'm talking about like. Yeah, she was in Hawkeye. She was in another show. I can't remember what it was. I feel like
was she in another show?
Was she in another show?
No, I think it was just Hawkeye.
Yeah, I think it was.
She was in Black Widow. She was like a co-lead in that, and then she was in Hawkeye, but I think in the back half of that show.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, U.S. Agent was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. That was like his thing. Ghost was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but that's like one of the least popular MCU movies.
Yeah, we know where Winter Soldier's from.
We know where Winter Soldier's from. Who else was on the team?
I think that's the team. Oh yeah,
Taskmaster also came from Black Widow.
Black Widow. Dave Fontaine came from Black Widow.
Yeah, and she was in a show too, but she was in Black Widow. Yeah. So and she was in Black Panther. So like, I get it. I get what he's trying to say, but it's faulty. His reasoning there. They're talking about how they're gonna drop the output of TV shows. It went from 3 TV shows a year to now they're gonna do 1 TV show a year, which I'm like, that's maybe too drastic of a back.
Yeah, I don't love that. At the same time, there's literally so many other things to watch.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, 1 live action show, 1 animated show. That's what the plan is.
Oh no, that's even worse. That's worse. No, that's way worse.
How's that worse?
The Spider-Man animated show is awesome, and so is X-Men '97. If there's anything I want, it's those 2. I want those 2 more than I want Daredevil. Those shows are awesome.
I want those more than Daredevil.
Those shows are amazing. So, yeah,
I didn't watch the Spider-Man show, so I'm not sure. I don't know.
Not to mention, if they're talking about doing like those Defenders kind of shows, and you're talking about doing like 2 shows a year, don't love it.
Yeah, because then like Daredevil comes out next year. Then when is Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and all that stuff happening?
Well, definitely after that, because they got to reintroduce them in the Daredevil show, and then you could make the next year like Daredevil and you could make the next year the Luke Cage show and the Jessica Jones show, or you could put them in a show together because they are married in the comics. But
that's true.
But yeah, so but we were just talking about this when we saw when I think it's the next season of either House of the Dragon or no, it was when we found out that The Last of Us season 3 won't be coming out until like 2027 or something like that, and we were like, this show cannot be that complicated. It's impossible. And we were kind of talking about how, man, we used to get 22 episodes of a show every year, and I miss those.
Yeah, me too.
So,
like, that's what I love Abbott Elementary, because it's like, I know I'm not gonna wait too long before the next season of Abbott Elementary.
I'll be shocked when I'm like, oh wait, it's already coming out. Oh,
it's great.
Yeah, let's go. Abbott's great.
Let's go.
Such a good show.
He talks about the delays, right? And he talked about how he hates having things on the shelf, especially when they're done, and how it kind of affects the projects. And he's saying how Wonder Man being delayed is now going to affect the impact of the show, because there's a meta commentary to the show, which we saw a little bit of. I don't know if you saw the interview, but Yahya Abdul-Mateen is how you say his name. I always mess it up.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second.
He was on the Fantastic Four red carpet as Wonder Man.
Oh.
So like he was being interviewed and he was talking like he was the character. because there's a meta commentary to the show. He's wearing the classic Wonder Man red glasses.
Mhm.
He was talking about how Wonder Man is his favorite. He was talking about Wonder Man like he was a real person. And he said in an interview where like, well, the effect of that now is going to be lesser because of the shows like the franchise and the studio, because those shows kind of talk about those things. Like the franchise was about superhero TV shows, and kind of the meta of that, and that's on HBO Max, so it's like a premium kind of show. And then Apple Studios, the studio, is all about meta, about making movies and TV shows. So he quoted us talking about those two shows and how that's going to affect how people see Wonder Man now.
I'm curious, like my question would be, if that's the case and you feel so strongly about it, what is preventing you from going upstairs to Ike? Nope. No, it's not Ike.
No, it's not Ike no more.
Bob, from Bob.
Yeah.
And saying,
the good
hey,
Bob.
man, this is important that we drop this right now.
It's timely.
And then just dropping it. Like I wonder, like, because I know like you have to have a rollout, you need a trailer, but you could do all that and have this thing out in September.
Well, that's when it's supposed to come out, but it was supposed to be out like 2 years ago. I think that's the main thing he's thinking. Like we could have been 2 years ahead of the studio and the franchise.
Yeah, and even like after watching Ironheart,
don't
understand why we have to wait for that.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that in the negative. It's a good show. I don't understand why it didn't come out 3 months after Black Panther 2.
It's not tied into anything.
Yeah.
The only thing it's tied is Black Panther 2, which came out a long time ago.
Right, which it would have received a significant boost from Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
So
Same thing with Doctor Strange if it would have came out shortly after WandaVision.
Right.
So
no, it did, didn't it? Didn't it?
It's like a year after.
A year's not terrible.
Yeah. It was really supposed to come out the same year as WandaVision. I think that's why everybody was just like, damn.
That's true. Yeah.
And then now he talked about diversity and why that still matters to him and how that's not going to change. And how he said the viewers of the MCU have to realize that we have to reflect that the world we live in. And they brought up DEI and woke and talking about Miss Marvel and the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the diversity is one of the greatest things that we had. He said, I love Iman Vellani. She brings a new fire and spark to the MCU, something, and a lot of these other characters. He talked about She-Hulk. He talked about Wiccan. He talked about Camille Nanjiani. Is that how he says? I always mess his name up too.
Camille Nanjiani.
Nanjiani. He talked about him in Eternals and how people love that character and want more of him. And even Tiana Paris, who plays Monica Rambeau, and how people want to see more of her character as well. He's like, you just have to utilize these characters properly. How do you feel about that? Like, he's not backing down because of all the woke mob and stuff like that.
Nor should he. I find it weird. Like, I find it weird that we even have to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to justify putting non-white people on TV shows, but you never have to justify putting white people on TV shows, right? It's like it's weird. It's like, hey, you prove that you should be here. Excuse me, I'm a comic book character. I'm an American citizen. It's all these things. Like it's weird. It's very strange to me that anybody of any sexual orientation, any race and color has to, like, gender has to prove why they should exist in a space. You have to have a good reason. You must have a good reason that you putting this nigga in our TV show. But that's how that's how it sounds.
Yeah,
it comes off. It's like,
that's how it comes off.
I just didn't like it because it was woke. You had to have your black characters, and this is like, pardon me, I beg your pardon. No, and then they have the gay guy. It was like, are people not gay? Did I miss something? Y'all niggas not gay? You gay? There's gay niggas everywhere. There's
Yeah.
gay people everywhere. Except
Everywhere.
for in my television show.
Don't put them in my Star Wars.
Don't put
Those-
them in front of my face, even though they exist. And I buy coffee from them, and I buy materials from them, and I buy all kinds of things from them,
And take orders from them.
and take orders from
They
them.
can be your boss.
Hey, you put the Mexicans to work, but you don't put them in my television show. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna
Crazy.
clip that, and it's gonna be out of context.
Yeah, I was like, you sure you want to say that?
No, but that's how people act. It's like
Yeah.
you'll hire one to do your lawn, but if he shows up in your television show, it's a DEI travesty.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Anyway,
Crazy talk.
I'm off my soapbox.
And then the next thing he said, this was interesting. He kind of took offense to James Gunn comments about Marvel in terms of saying that, they don't shoot movies with finished scripts. He said he said this whole discussion, and he said he's seen the videos. He says we've never shot a movie without the script being finished. What they're talking, huh?
That's not true, but go ahead.
He said what people are talking about is that we adjust the script as we go, but the script is finished. So like he said, I'm never satisfied with a script. Like, so we get it. Like, this is good. This is great. But as the movie's going, I'm like, we got to adjust it. We got to adjust it. And that's what he's saying. It's called plushing. And he said, that is what's happening. It's not a situation where we just start shooting the movie without a script and figure it out as we go. Because in the MCU, we don't have directors. He said, this is what he's saying. We don't have directors who go, this is my movie. You say the words exactly how I write them. That's not how we work. We are very collaborative. And if you want to ad lib, you want to leave moments for that. Because he said some of the greatest moments of the MCU is an actor ad libbing.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't have that, then you don't have. My brain just froze. Oh, yeah. If you don't have that, then you don't have because that wasn't in the movie. That wasn't in the script. They came back and did that. They came back and reshot that.
Yeah.
The ending of Endgame that everybody's like, oh, I'm crying. And he has the thing. Wasn't even in the script. It was shot after the fact. So, yeah. I mean, as a matter of fact, I am Iron Man at the end of the movie. And the first movie was after the fact. Like,
yeah.
So a lot of stuff that they did was during, during the process of doing it, So that's true. And also, James Gunn, I highly doubt all the words that were spoken in his Guardians movies or was written on a page.
No,
not.
Definitely not. Can't be. He talked about budgets and how budgets have ballooned and how he's been worried about it. He said even ever since Endgame, the movie, the budget for that ballooned seriously, and luckily it made a lot of money. But he said that he looked at something like The Creator and saw how amazing it looked for $80 million, and now they're looking at that and how to make a movie for like $100 million instead of 150, 180, 200, 200 something, where we can make it look great, make it spectacle, and still have that quality. So he said we've been working on budgeting the films better, which that's a welcome change for me. I don't want these movies to bank on making $1 billion to be profitable anymore.
Yeah, I'm very indifferent to that conversation in particular. Like, of course, like as a fan, I want these to be profitable so they can keep going. So I know what I'm about to say is probably contradictory to that. I really don't give a damn how much these movies cost. It's not my money. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I saw someone who was like, yeah, Superman should not have cost $225. I don't care, dog. I had a great time. What you want me to do? Be mad that they spent their money on something? I'm not upset about somebody else's wallet. I don't care how much my Eagles, my football team, pays a player, because that's just the cost of doing business now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the player ends up like the only time that these things really come under scrutiny is when the movie isn't good. Is when the movie isn't good. But other than that, like
Yeah,
every
that's
movie's
true.
a crapshoot, so you never know how it's going to turn out. Why would they pay
Yeah,
25 million for that? Because that's how much they thought it should cost.
yeah, because there's been a lot of discussion. Remember how that discussion about Captain America's budget leading into that film? Everybody's talking about how much this movie costs, how much this movie costs, how much this movie costs, and even like Electric State, how much this movie costs, how much this movie costs, and dinging the movie for how much it costs. But Superman costs more than Brave New World, but no one cared.
Nobody
So
cares.
it's very very selective.
Yeah.
And you hit it on the head with that. Something that I found interesting, and I think might lead to a little political, is that he said the future of the MCU is not in Hollywood, which is a very interesting because our current administration is trying to bring people back to Hollywood and is trying to ding people for filming films outside of Los Angeles and other places in America.
Yeah.
But he's saying that's not going to happen. He said like the tax credits that California and these places give is not the same as what England and Canada give, or even Atlanta and things like that. But they're even leaving Atlanta now. They're not even shooting Spider-Man in Atlanta. They're going to like London to shoot Spider-Man. So like they're shooting these movies overseas now because it just works out better money wise for them. And it's also helping with like budgets. How do you feel like that's do you feel weird about that one of the biggest American franchises is not like using America?
I could not give a damn.
Okay. Gotcha.
I do not care. Like if the movie's good, that's matter of fact. If the movie's bad, the last thing I'm thinking about is where it was shot. I truly don't care. Because so many movies were shot in places where they weren't. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, all the time.
All of the entire Arrowverse was shot in Canada.
Yeah, that's true. And then trying to make it look like something else.
Yeah.
So last part, two things I want to talk about, and then we'll move on to the comments and wrap things up. Is he talked about Blade. And he talked about how it's been delayed and things like that. But he said that the script has gone through many changes. It was going to be in the past. It was going to be eventually there was a version of it where it was just him in a suit killing vampires. But he thought Mahershala Ali deserved more than that. And now the current script, which is almost done, apparently, is in the modern day. How do you feel about that in terms of like him saying that Mahershala Ali deserves better?
I really now I'm not saying making a movie is easy, but this has got to be one of the easier layups in terms of making a movie.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you would set it in the past. I don't understand that idea at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
All we want is Mahershala Ali looking really cool in all black leather with a samurai sword and a machine gun attacking vampires at their home.
At their home.
In the club or wherever they may be. Now, do you need a story to carry that? Absolutely. But Blade kind of feels like one of those characters that Blade is probably less complicated of a story to write than Daredevil. Like it's really like Frost. Like he went after Deacon Frost and they had a fight and they kept fighting. And then the movie ended. Like, and not to say that Blade isn't smartly written or anything like that, but
it's simple.
It's a movie. You know what I mean? So,
also, you have comics, and I was having this conversation with somebody where one of my friends is that the comic book movies, well, specifically MCU, not DC, because obviously this just started, but comic book movies in the MCU is becoming too self-referential within the MCU. What we used to do before was adapt comic book storylines and then change things to make it fit properly because of the silliness. that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems like they're just trying to reference what's happened in the MCU instead of taking the classic storylines or even storylines that are not classic but are great and making those into movies. And that's where I think a lot of these stories are having issues. Is not just going, okay, what is Blade's first comic book? Can we use his first, second, third issue, combine that, and then add another element to it and make it a movie? Why are we trying to make this from scratch? The Blade story is Deacon Frost killed his mama, made him a vampire. Deacon Frost wants to kill Dracula. He's a mad scientist that experiments on people. Blade is now a living, walking vampire, and he's trying to find his way to kill Deacon Frost, but runs into Dracula in the purpose of that, and they get to fighting. Just there it is, right? That's from the comics. There's obviously there's a lot of other details and things like that I'm leaving out. His supporting cast. He has a mentor. He has a mentor that's like Stick. He actually meets Stick, the one that's from Daredevil. That's how you can tie Daredevil into it. Like there's a lot of stuff there that's in there. Just use the comic books and then the stuff that get good writers to flesh it out. That's what you gotta do. Use the soul of the comic books. This is why Civil War works and was one of the best MCU movies. It's not the same as the comic, but it has the soul of it and it has the main conflict. Captain America and Iron Man are arguing about some shit. And there is a government act that's trying to restrict or reveal superhero identities and things like that. It's not the same exact thing.
No.
But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And they need to do that with all these other characters. Stop trying to do stuff from scratch and reference stuff. Because I heard somebody say what they could do, and I thought this was an interesting idea, is that they could bring it up that Blade existed. He's always existed. But he got snapped. And while he was gone, vampires are undead, so the snap doesn't work on them. So they rebuilt themselves up. And now that he's back, he has a bunch of vampires now, and he has to take them out. And also figure out his life, because he was gone for 5 years. And I'm like, that's not that bad of an idea. If you take that premise and then add his comics, you have a great movie. And give him like a $50 million budget.
That's not a bad idea at all.
No.
And it makes perfect sense. When you said the vampires didn't get snapped because they're undead, that's smart. That's
smart writing.
That's very intelligent writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree with you. I do think that Blade is a little bit interesting because Wesley Snipes really defined what that character is for generations to come. So even if you do go back to the comics, in a sense, you're not going to find Wesley Snipes' Blade in there.
You got to move away from that, man.
Yeah. That's the thing. He
gotta.
He is.
Like we gotta move away from Christopher Reeve's Superman. We gotta move away from Blade. Wesley Snipes Blade.
I don't know that you do. And here's the reason why. It's because let's say that we do move away from Wesley Snipes Blade, right? How much of the general public do you think is familiar with the Blade from the comics?
Not many.
I don't know if anybody who's seen Blade has ever picked up a Blade comic.
Or even the Blade movie is not. It's introducing this character in the MCU. Like we're not. I know those Blade movies are important to the culture in terms of comic book culture. We would not have the MCU without the Blade trilogy.
Sure. Yeah.
But Mahershala Ali,
fact. Yeah.
But Mahershala Ali's Blade needs to have his own distinct. I don't want him to feel like a modern version of Wesley Snipes. I want him to feel like a distinct, different character that has similar traits.
I hear what you're saying with that, and I understand where you're coming from with that. I think a lot of the general public want exactly what you just said that you don't want.
I don't know if the general public care about a Blade movie at all.
Oh no. I don't
think so.
I think Blade is like kind of one of those staples where it's like Remember that Blade movie from '98? Yeah, man, that was great. It was Wesley Snipes, right? Yeah, and he did Blade 2 and then Blade Trinity. We don't talk about. And then, most importantly, we just saw Blade last year. So that picture of Blade is in everybody who saw Deadpool and Wolverine's mind.
Wolverine.
And that nigga said, there's only one Blade, there's only going to be one Blade. Right? So that is the picture that everybody has of Blade in their mind, even more so than the Spider-Man the animated cartoon, where he is wildly different from Blade that came out the movie that came out a couple of years after, actually during the Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah.
So I think when people think, it's almost like if you were saying, I'm going to make a Matrix movie the way that the original writer wrote it, and you do make that movie, and everybody's like, no, but Blade is, not Blade, but the Matrix is the Neo that we saw, and the Asians that we saw, and all this other stuff. Like, nah, I kind of like the one that we got. And I think there's enough people who have seen Blade who want the one that we got from the movie specifically. I'm not saying one couldn't work, but I strongly feel like everybody's asking for a Blade movie, or everybody who is asking for the Blade movie and is up in arms about that is taking so long. The picture that they have in their head is Wesley Snipes, is those movies, is the feeling that those movies gave them. Not even necessarily, like I said, I think 2 people in this country have picked up a Blade comic book. That's an exaggeration, but it definitely.
I was like, damn, he had a long run. I don't know about that. But I think when it comes to general audiences, people who like vampires, most likely this will be R-rated horror film. If they're trying to gravitate to those people, I don't think the general audience care about Blade. I think they just have to try to attract people to how cool this looks based off the tone that they choose to do and the action. The action in that trailer needs to be fire. It needs to be a red bad trailer. It needs to be bloody. It needs to have. They need to do that. Comic book fans, I understand what you're saying. Yes, they do. They are attached to the Wesley Snipes version, but just like I do really think that they can't be beholden by the old versions that strongly.
No, I don't. But I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not even saying the comic book fans are the ones who are attached to the Wesley Snipes. I think the general public, that's who Blade is to the general public, is the Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think they're not the ones requesting it. I don't think they're the ones requesting this movie. It's us who wants to see this movie.
In a lot of ways,
and
I am with this. I don't want us to keep going, but in a lot of ways, Blade's entrance into the public lexicon is very similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy's entrance to the public lexicon.
I can see that.
Because before the movie and before the movies, anybody know who these niggas was, right? In either side, Blade or so if you come out with a movie about the original Guardians of the Galaxy in that tone, where's Rocket? Where's the music? Where's the jukebox?
Where's the music?
You know what I mean? Like, where's Drax? You know what I mean? You make Drax how he looks like in the comics? You're like, well, hey, man, where's Dave Bautista? So I feel like it's very similar in that fashion.
Yeah, but I do think, and my last thing, I think people can get used. If what they choose to do that's different is good, people will accept it, right?
Yeah.
We had a Scarface film. They made a new Scarface film. It was different from the original Scarface film, and nobody thinks about the original Scarface film anymore. I'm not saying if the next Blade is awesome, people are not going to think about the Wesley Snipes one anymore. But I'm just saying, like, there's a possibility. Like The Thing, one of your favorite horror movies. There was a Thing movie before that. The Thing that we like is different from that old Thing. And that's the one that we like. So I think that's the comic book fans have to be able to do that, right? Like, we got Tobey Maguire, and then we got Andrew Garfield, and now we got Tom Holland. Tom Holland is very different from Tobey.
I think you're underestimating one thing.
What?
What Kevin Feige does talk about, which I think we're going to talk about next. When they do recast Iron Man, when they do recast Cap, it's going to be a very difficult sell.
That's very different, and let's talk about that right now. That's very different from this conversation because it's too soon. Blade came out when? 03? 98. This movie is about to come out in like 2029. There's a big enough gap for us to get a new Blade.
Yeah.
But Iron Man died in what? 2019?
2019.
2019. That was 6 years ago. That's too soon. Steve Rogers disappeared 6 years. That's too soon for you to be like, yeah, here we go. And for you to make them one die and then one disappear, and then you pass the mantle on to somebody else, and then you reboot the series and then get some new white guy to play Steve Rogers, that is too soon. If
you ask me, you got to reboot the entire franchise if we want to do that.
Yeah, because if you just do certain characters,
clean slate.
Yeah,
don't even bring
certain characters.
Right,
you can't do what James Gunn is doing, where he's taking some of the old DCU characters and bringing them over because they're his friends. You gotta.
Well, you could. I think the thing that allows James Gunn to do that is he's like, yeah, weird shit happens all the time. This is comic books. Like, he's saying that. Kevin Feige is like, you're telling a linear story. And this is this Earth, and this is what happens here, and
he cares about canon.
Yeah, I wish Kevin Feige is probably in that writer's room saying, I wish you would suggest we have a flying dog. I wish you would. Don't you ever?
It better be grounded.
Yeah.
Are there any? Well, there's a flying raccoon. They could do a dog.
Flying raccoon.
Rocket with his rocket pack.
Oh no, but Rocket's a whole sentient creature. Like Rocket.
Oh, you mean like just a dog? Well, they had the dog in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
She talks. She's got psychic powers. She's got all this kind of stuff. Well, also, that's also James Gunn. Yeah. James Gunn had a lot more leeway than everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
James Gunn had Ego the Living Planet. I don't think anybody else was getting away with that.
he trusted James.
Yeah,
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to reboot. I get why they want to do it because people are not attaching to these new versions. I don't want to say new versions, but these mantle passing characters as much as they want. Part of it is their own fault because the way they set, like Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a movie. I think that movie would have been a lot more accepted than Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah,
that story was a better story, and that show looks great.
Even if you take that show and you just said,
yeah, you just make it a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
and just take out a lot of the fluff that we got into those 6 episodes. It would be a great movie
entirely. But go ahead.
Yeah, and a lot of the Hawkeye, a lot of this stuff you could just made movies and release them.
I would have liked the Hawkeye Christmas. Pardon me. I like that show. I don't know why people don't like that show.
I like that show a lot. I just think that people expected more from it.
It's a Christmas show.
Yeah, it's a Christmas show. I think people expected more from it. I think that's the only problem. You know, they thought Kingpin's going to come in here and then Kingpin was kind of goofy and whatnot. But I was like, the show's good.
That reminds me, I said on Threads, a couple days ago, not everything in the comics, not everything that happens in the comics is good. And niggas tried to argue me down. But then we had Kingpin show up in a Hawaiian shirt and people were like, what the Because read a comic book, buddy.
Yeah,
That happened in the comics.
Yeah, something that he wore. And it didn't look goofy in the comics, but it did look goofy in the show.
Echo took him out. Same way in the comics with the eyes. All that stuff happened in the comics, but people were like, "Oh, this is terrible." Read a comic book, buddy.
I didn't really see anybody complain about him getting shot in the face, but I can see that.
No, but they complained about Echo existing. They complained about,
you know why.
Well,
and then just
she had it all. She was a Native American, deaf amputee. Like they were going
super DEI.
They were going to like hate it no matter what.
Yeah, no, and she's a cool character.
She is.
Like she was so dope in Hawkeye, and she was cool in her own show too.
Yeah, the show was actually much better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and the last thing we want to talk about recasting. How do you feel about the X-Men thing? Right, like X-Men. He's saying the writer of Thunderbolts is writing it and directing it.
Cool.
And also that they're going to be going young. Everything is going to be focusing on youth. They're recasting every single character. No one from the X-Men Fox verse is getting carried over, meaning no more Hugh Jackman. Does that mean no more Ryan Reynolds?
Doubtful. I think he means X-Men proper.
X-Men proper. So how do you feel about that?
It's the way to go. I mean, Patrick Stewart is not a young person.
No, he's not.
I was surprised. I'm always surprised to hear that Patrick Stewart is in something else because I don't know. I don't know how old Patrick Stewart is, but I always feel like he's much closer to his end than.
Oh no! Don't say it like that.
I'm not even saying like he's going to like.
I know what you mean.
But it's like
I know what you mean.
Or let me say it like this:
he's 85.
He's much closer to retirement than being in another movie. But like same thing with Ian McKellen. But start complete. I don't want to see another. I don't want to see unless you're doing a multiverse story, which I hope they don't. I really don't want to see any of the old X-Men. Like the biggest thing that they should do is establish their own X-Men, and they should do it young so that they can have them for a while. Like it just makes business sense. It makes sense for the identity of what you want the X-Men to be. Because what happens if you continue to stay with this cast that was from Fox is that you have Fox expectations, right? And you have Fox constraints. A lot of the Fox universe isn't going to Mojo World. They're not going out to space to deal with Lilandra and them. They're not going to the Savage Land. Yo, the X-Men, they be on their civil rights, but then they be on some cosmic bullshit. Like they be on all kinds.
The civil rights thing is just the least of what they actually do. When you get into the X-Men, they actually do a lot more, which is a really good metaphor of like, our struggle is not only thing that we have to deal with. We do other stuff.
Mr. Sinister is experimenting on people. You got the Phoenix Force. You got anything that Wolverine is dealing with at any given time.
You got aliens just coming to invade, and we got to stop. Yeah. We got people putting us in video games, and we got to try to survive and get out. Like,
bro, the current run of X-Men, not the current run, but a run of X-Men comic books that was very recent was contained time-displaced X-Men that were like young Cyclops and Jean Grey, and they were all kids, basically teenagers. They were time displaced that came to the main Marvel universe and had to exist alongside their adult selves. Like they've been doing anything in these X-Men comics.
A lot of multiverse, a lot of time traveling, a lot of sci-fi stuff.
Just happened. You know what I mean? Oh, the future. They always in the future.
They're always in the future,
and all this other stuff.
They have a multiverse team, isn't it? Called not Excalibur. It's called X something.
The Exiles or something like that.
The Exiles that like crosses over into the multiverse to stop stuff.
Truth be told, the X-Men are a universe unto themselves. Very much like the Green Lanterns can just be its own thing. Yeah, I mean, so with multiple movies, multiple shows, multiple animated series, the Green Lanterns can just so the X-Men too, who have 45 different teams. It's so they
Yeah.
should do their own thing. Leave Hugh Jackman and the rest of them in the past. Let that be a memory and a time of the past. It just makes business sense and creative sense for you to just go forward. You know what
Now I
I
have a
mean?
question for you now, though,
Yeah.
because we just talked about Blade, and we talked about people's memory and the general populace is Wesley Snipes. How do you feel the reaction of Hugh Jackman now not being Wolverine and there's being somebody new and putting their own stamp on it? Do you think it's a similar issue, like how with Blade?
There will be comparisons, but I think people will have more of an understanding because we've literally seen him as Blade since 2000. It's been 25 years.
Yeah.
We'll probably see him in Doomsday or right?
Secret Wars. One of
Even
them.
Doomsday.
I don't think they announced Wesley Snipes in Doomsday.
No, I was talking about Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he will be in Doomsday. Yeah.
Yeah. So like he's going to end up having his last hurrah, and then I think people are going to be more like accepting hey, you've been doing this for 25 years. Same thing with Patrick Stewart. It's like you've been doing this for they've all been doing it for the same amount of time.
It's okay to wrap it up.
Yeah. Hey, I love you. Remember that. Tupac is back.
What?
Anyway, so
yeah, but I think this was really great. I think we are getting a lot of information from the heads of the two big comic book movie studios. James Gunn's been doing a lot of talking. Now Kevin Feige looks like he's coming out of his shell. I think he might be like, oh, I might have to do this now because James Gunn is doing it. And it seems like people like it. Probably not as much. He's not going to be on Twitter telling people, oh, this is fake, this is real and all that. But I think he's going to come out a little bit more often. We'll see a little bit more Kevin Feige announcing stuff, especially now it seems like he has the full reins of the MCU again, where he doesn't have to, he can kind of do what he was doing before. But yeah. Let's get into these comments. What was that?
I was going to say things, but they don't have to be said.
Okay. Tank said, "What's up, guys? Zach and Kenny, the dynamic duo."
What it is, folks?
This was like 2 hours ago, so he's probably not even here.
It is.
I know. They should have made Captain Marvel 2 Secret Invasion instead. I agree. That should have just been a Captain Marvel movie since they started it.
Secret Invasion should have just been an Avengers movie.
Agreed. But if they were going to not do that, it should have been a Captain Marvel movie just because they introduced them there in her movie. Let's see. Thunderbolts. I'm not sure why they changed Thunderbolts to New Avengers. I thought that was silly.
Dumb. Yeah, it's really silly. You have a brand new team, a brand new franchise that does not have the expectations of the Avengers, and now you just put the expectations of the Avengers on the least Avengers-like team that you have.
And now you have an Avengers movie that didn't make $1 billion.
Right.
Also, out of all the places he landed, it had to be America. Oh, he's talking about Superman. I mean, the Green Lantern movie not make the Sinestro not Sinestro. Well, Sinestro starts out as a good person, so that's why he's
right. Yeah.
Oh, Chillmonger's in the chat. What's up? Everybody's talking to each other. I love her in Ozark. I expect her to be amazing in Weapons. Yo, people got to see Weapons. And the word on the street, masterpiece.
Awesome. It's great to hear.
I'm excited. And everybody was talking about how she's fantastic. And I'm like, oh, yes.
That's great to hear.
And Josh Brolin.
Oh, yeah. He's in that, too. Yeah. That's awesome to hear. I can't wait to see it.
Natasha Lyonne was in Blade Trinity?
Must do research.
I feel bad she was in that werewolf movie. She definitely needed that check because oof. Wolfman wasn't that bad. It was just kind of mediocre. But as much as I like her, she wasn't great in it.
Oh my god.
Did you see her?
Yeah. Have you seen Blade Trinity?
Yes. I don't remember it though.
she is instantly recognizable.
Yeah, she can't hide. She just you know her from any time you look at her.
Well, I could see why someone would, because pardon me. In this, she has straight hair.
Oh, that still looks like her though.
It does. Like I think I would catch it if I went back and watched it. I don't remember her being in this movie at all.
Gotcha.
And they really,
and also it's probably before she was popular for us, right? Like that came out before Orange New Black and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. It just goes to show. What? That was her?
No way.
What?
Scary Movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Actually,
She's a legend.
matter of fact, now that I hear the voice, I'm thinking about the voice from Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right, I'll shut this down. Let me just look at this one last thing to see if I recognize her in something else. Nope.
Look at those different hairstyles she has right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is why the Superman thing makes sense, because straight hair, she looks like a different person.
Completely different person.
Like it's crazy.
All right, I'll shut this down now.
Chillmonger says, I follow Will Smith for my entire life. He's one of those actors, if he's in it, except if it's a slave movie, I'm watching it.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
John David Washington is someone I'm watching whatever he's in. Besides Amsterdam, he makes good movies.
The ultimate JDW hater.
Don't do that. The ultimate? How about the ultimate?
No, ultimate for sure.
That's crazy.
It has no emotions.
People forget. Oh, what's up, Kyrie? This is my guy from college.
What up, bro?
He said people forget about that. A lot of movies were affected badly by the strike. Yeah,
It's true. Yeah,
it happened so fast. Oh yeah, rest in peace to Theo Hux.
That joint hit me like a ton of bricks, bro.
Me too. Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner's real name. Bro, all these idiots complaining about Jade in a new MK2 trailer just love to complain. Yeah, you know that.
1000%. Yeah.
CC! She said, mega late, but what's up? You're never late. Just appreciate you being here.
If anybody's late, we're late to your comments.
Facts, we are. This is I'm still like an hour behind. Gunther got a better match out of Bill Goldberg than Bret Hart.
Yo, hot take. That wasn't a bad match.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it was solid.
It was solid.
CC's right. Actors here to act. Period. That's it. Mm-hmm. They're here to act, not the black suits. Kevin, agent of Feige. Did Kevin do this to try to slow down Superman's success? I think he did. Disney has been doing some foul stuff. I think they put Lilo Stitch close to How to Train Your Dragon to slow that down, and it has slowed it down.
Fantastic Four there.
Yeah. Not the interview. That don't make sense. He's been praising Superman.
Mm-hmm.
In the interview.
Did Kevin do it? No. Did the accountants do it? Maybe.
Yeah. Hiding Blade and T'Challa is a 10-year plan.
That's hilarious.
That's very on brand. Kevin kept pivoting and on plans. Yeah.
I think he had
Kevin Feige
asking him to do dumb shit.
Yeah. Kevin Feige basically said the Marvel should have been. Oh yeah, I read that already. Tron looks good. I wish Jared Leto wasn't in it though.
I had the exact same thought watching the trailer. I'm like, yay, looks cool, but here's Jared Leto throwing dead rats at people.
TJ, what's up?
What kind of method acting do you do to be in a Tron movie?
I don't know. Can't really do it, right? Disney Plus is dry right now. Yeah, kinda. Andor's done.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting about that? I don't understand why they don't have shows coming out back to back to back to back to back.
I don't know either.
I also don't understand why they don't have shows coming out simultaneously.
They do have shows coming out. It's just stuff we're not interested in. Like right now they have this like Disney walkthrough show that's doing well. I'm not watching that shit.
Walk through what?
Disneyland.
My response to that just tells you everything.
Exactly. I'm saying I'm not watching it, but there's people who watch that because that's a popular thing on YouTube, and now they're taking it and doing it on Disney Plus, and people are watching it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure useless means like television programs in
Yeah,
terms of like a story and all that good stuff.
like a scripted show. Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ Miller says just came home, but wanted to jump in real quick. But also Disney Plus also is now Hulu, so I think that's why they're like, oh, we have the bear. And it's just
I
like,
swear to God, if I could take Hulu off of Disney Plus, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's so stupid that,
It
especially
is.
like, so I have the bundle where I have Hulu,
Disney Plus,
Disney
ESPN
Plus, and the ESPN thing I've never clicked on in my life. If I wanted Hulu and Disney Plus to be on the same night, I would have just bought Disney. I bought them separate. I bought them as a bundle, but I still expect them to stay separate. There's no reason for Freddy versus Jason to be next to Lion King. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you're just ruining the vibe of your entire platform.
I agree about the lack of episodes, but at the same time, we are getting much more epic set pieces and 2 and 3 hour episodes. Speaking of that, have you seen the run times for those Stranger Things episodes?
I haven't, but I'm afraid.
Boy, there's 2 episodes that are 3.5 hours. Every episode is 2 hours and more.
Who do they think they are? What are you doing, man?
This is our fault. I tell people all the time.
It's
Anytime
not my fault. I didn't tell them to do that.
do something wild, is because we accepted it the first time. We sat there and watched last season, and we watched and loved the 1.5 hour episode, and we watched and loved the 2.5 hour episode, and talked about how amazing it was. And then they're like, well, we're going to do this for everything now. And it's the last season, so we're going to give them as much content as possible.
Don't do that. Just end it well. No one's asking for 3-hour episodes. That's not an episode. That's
a movie.
A movie.
Yeah, it's Kills the Flower Moon.
Exactly. And the audacity, the unmitigated gall to release that on Christmas Day. Like, that's the thing. I truly, that's in all seriousness, I don't understand that move. Like, I know some people do stay home for Christmas, but I know a lot of people travel during Christmas. And if you're trying to get people to be a part of the conversation, get people to talk about Stranger Things and all that stuff, the last thing I'm going to be doing when I'm trying to get my family situated, I just have a wife and a dog. You know what I mean? But we go to our abuela's house every Christmas. The idea of sitting at home and watching Stranger Things while my entire family is traveling around the country to get to Delaware is crazy. And so many other people are going to be doing very similar things. So why would you put out your longest episodes on the days that people are traveling?
They don't care?
Nope. Not at all.
They do not care. They're like, y'all gonna watch this. Y'all gonna watch this in the car. Y'all gonna watch this together at home. Y'all gonna watch this. And if you don't watch it right away, then you'll eventually catch up. It's gonna be there forever. Books, Girls, and Purrs. What's up? I thought I was gonna go this live stream without saying her name. Hey, glad to see you all up. I'm still rooting for Blade to be a series. It could have 10 episodes a season, like most shows these days. You know,
I'm not opposed to that whatsoever.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
I'm not opposed to that.
Michael 101591.
Hey.
And it won't have to be so expensive.
We get more Blade. It's a more fleshed out story. We have, like, I think the hardest part about doing Blade in the MCU is it's not even hard. It's just these vampires been around here this whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not a hard thing. It's not like, you know.
Yeah.
There's never been a reason for them to show up before. You know what I mean? Yeah. So having an entire underground vampire situation, that you know, that's very easy to do. But
yeah. That's true. He said Natasha Lyonne was the blind lady in that she was Wesker's daughter.
Whistler's daughter. Yep, that makes sense.
So this was really, really fun. This is one of my favorite episodes that we've done of Film Club.
Yeah.
I think the format moving forward will be very similar in terms of us talking about a movie and how we felt about it, talking about a news topic, and talking about something that we're hyped up about.
Yep.
I think that's what we're going to be looking forward moving forward, and then we'll also be thinking about, as a film club, having maybe a old film that we all watch together and then talk about on live stream together. So we and Kenny will figure that out if we really want to do that. You got Superman stuff. I got Superman stuff too.
This is what I'm hyped about. My Superman pillow. It's cool. Like, I got a Captain America Shield pillow from when Brave New World came out. I'm never going to use this pillow. As a matter of fact, I bought it, brought it home. It's like, I don't know where I'm putting this thing. I have no idea. I have to put it away from my dog because my dog will destroy it.
True. I also just recently got Cece's favorite movie.
Nosferatu.
I got it for cheap from a different country. Obviously, you see those stickers on there. When you see that, that's not an American version, but
my wife actually just got Sinners on 4K and like a Blu-ray or something like that. She got two separate ones. Amazon originally told her that it wouldn't be delivered until like December.
When did she get it?
She got it like 2 weeks ago. Wait, are you talking about when did she order it?
Yeah.
She ordered it the day that it became available for her.
Yeah, I tried. As soon as I went on it was sold out, and then they restocked it, and I went on it was sold out. It was so bad. Book Curtis said, "Forgive me if you two discussed it already, but have you seen that comic Bitterroot is going to be adapted and directed by Regina King?" No,
I did not know it was being directed. Did I know it? No, I did not know that. But
I don't even know about Bitterroot.
I did know the Bitterroot comic was coming out. Bitterroot is so good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. It's very steampunk black people, dirty in the South, like fighting against all kinds of monsters and stuff like that. And they're just a family of ass-kicking Southern black folk.
I'm sold. You said steampunk and black people. That's all I needed to hear. And I'm really excited to see Regina King direct more. She hasn't done a ton, but the stuff that I've seen her do has been impressive.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how this comes out for her. She's such a wonderful actress.
I thought I had Bitterroot in trade form, but I think I just have the comics individually.
Yeah, I got to go check that out too. Oh, wait, I forgot to unsubscribe and resubscribe. Let me do that real quick.
Hilarious.
Notes for Diddy. That's funny. That's the first time you heard that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't recognize that. Shorty, he originally went after when she was a children's.
She's very, 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 very young.
How do I do this in America?
What?
Here it is.
The stylistic writing of Bitterroot reminds me slightly of Chew. I'm really loving it. Ooh, Chew's really good.
Chew's great. She's great.
Yeah.
I love Chew. Yeah, so this is what Bitterroot looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. Some really cool stuff. You know what? Sure.
I've been looking for these type of stories to be adapted. Some of these black books to be adapted more. We're getting was it Bones and Ash? Is that what that name of that book we're getting? The Children of Blood and Bone.
I think that sounds right.
That's supposed to be like Children of Blood and Bone. That's supposed to be coming out next year, and it has a stack. When I tell you this cast is stacked, it is stacked. Viola Davis, Damon Idris, Cynthia Erivo, Lashana Lynch, Idris Elba, Regina King. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, Amanda Sternberg,
Oh man, you know what that reminds me of? There was a black anime that came out on Netflix some time ago,
Oh
and
God, I did not like it.
exactly,
It was two of
exactly.
them. We got Cannon Busters, which I was
Cannon
so
Buster.
hyped about.
I was
I was
so
so hyped.
excited for it. It was not good.
It was not good. And then we also had about the samurai. What's his name? Sasuke. Yasuke. And
Yasuke?
that it wasn't good because they try to overcomplicate it. They made it about him saving some white child and he was running from robots. And I was like, why is it robots? This is feudal
Yeah.
Japan. Just make it about him learning to be a samurai and fighting. Like, why does it have to be this whole thing of him protecting a child and on the road like it's The Last of Us? Like everything has to be The Last of Us now. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst, I mean, not the worst, but I was so excited for Cannon Busters. What I
Me
will
too.
say though is that theme song was
Fire.
that theme song was the best part of the show. I
Yeah.
only watched 3 episodes, but that theme song was great.
And like it wasn't like completely terrible,
Nah, it wasn't like
but it just wasn't
it was
good.
boring. I was bored. That's what
Yeah,
it
I was just like, man, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is blowing my mind right now
Mm.
by critics, but 68 by audiences. And most of the cast wasn't even black. That's interesting. I just started reading Bitterroot with my kids, try to get them more into reading. They all in the library, but I definitely need to buy it. Nice. First of all, I didn't know you had kids. Congrats. And good shit for getting them to read. Like
Yeah,
actual
man.
book.
Reading is where it's at.
Obi Alliance says, how's it going? Hope you two are doing well. We're doing really well. I hope you're doing well. I know he's trying to come back into the YouTube space soon, so look out for that.
That's what's up. We'd love to hear it.
He said, I finally got to see Superman. I thought it was a fun movie, but I wanted something more from it, and I left feeling disappointed.
That's cool.
I understand. But apparently, a lot of people saying when you watch it the second time, it clicks. So maybe you go see it again.
Yeah.
Also, I can't tell you to do that because, movies are expensive. I got Regal Unlimited, so I can see movies as much as I want and don't have to worry.
Did you see that WWE is going to be putting their PLEs in movie theaters?
Yeah, SummerSlam is going to be in the movie theater.
I would do it
if
I had other people to watch it with. But
yeah, I'm talking to my friends. I'm like, let's go do this. Let's go Saturday and Sunday night and go watch SummerSlam together in the movie theater.
It would be really cool, but
Yeah.
I think in Philadelphia, I have like one other friend who like watches the wrestling like with one eye open while he's doing other stuff. So
yeah, he's not really fully paying attention.
Yeah, I'm the one. Oh my god! Yeah, like I'm the person in the group that does. As a matter of fact, all of my friends don't watch sports, don't watch wrestling. All they watch is movies, which is great because that's all. I watch a lot of movies, but I don't have a lot of other friends who are interested in the other things I'm interested in. Oh wait, I have a lot of friends who are interested in comic books, but like sports and sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Zip Zero, De Niro. Yeah.
Is an American thing? What's an American thing? What you said about America?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. You'll never get me.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not defending America that hard.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Even though this is really,
we don't like this.
Like we do, but we don't.
Yeah. I would never leave America, which is always funny.
No.
Like, then leave. Like, no, nigga, you leave. Like, you're always complaining and leave. Like, who in here don't be complaining?
We all complain.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you for everyone that jumped into the live stream, live chat. Sorry, we'll make sure that we get to your comments faster than an hour. Want to shout out these people who are consistently in the live streams and coming in here. And if you're not here right now, I'm going to add you in. I think I got to add Maverick. That's a new guy. Made it for the end. Imran.
Hey!
Imran. What's up, Imran?
What's up, Imran?
One of my first YouTube friends.
Wait, go back.
Hold
on, go back. Okay, I was trying to make sure we were pronouncing his name correct.
Yeah,
that's important.
Thank you guys. Have a nice night. Thank you too. I appreciate you.
Appreciate all y'all, man.
Appreciate all y'all. And
this brother had a few more inches. Oh, Lord, don't get me salivating and fantasizing about things. Oh, my God.
You know what? I was going to say something nice about you, but now I'm not. Both you guys' video quality, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm actually using a new light. So the fact that you said that makes me feel good.
I'm actually using a new feature that was always here. I just found out about it last week.
He said, "Hey, yo." Yeah, on that note. Peace out, guys.
See y'all.
See ya.